MasterPlan.com. Master Plan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Hey, Atlanta Braves fans, this is Kelly Kroll asking you to step up to the plate for the men and women who have served our country and protected our freedom. The Warrior Alliance, an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, is helping thousands of veterans to achieve success after military service. Either you or someone you know has served and deserves our support. The best way to say thank you for your service is by helping a veteran round the bases on their journey home. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Fox on Tech.
New York City is filing a lawsuit against several social media platforms, accusing them of addicting children and affecting their mental health. The 327-page complaint seeks damages from Meta, Google, Snapchat, and TikTok. The city alleges they designed their platforms to, quote, exploit the psychology and neurophysiology of youth to make a profit, saying, quote, this exploitation of children has become central to defendants' profitability. New York City joins other governments, school districts, and individuals pursuing similar lawsuits that are now being put together in federal court. Fox Business did hear back from Google. They said in part, quote, these lawsuits fundamentally misunderstand how YouTube works, and the allegations are simply not true. Going on to say, we've also developed dedicated tools like supervised experiences for young people, guided by child safety experts that give families control. For Fox on Tech, I'm Madison Allworth, Fox Business.
This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the Xtra app.
He's back from a Middle East trip to celebrate his ceasefire deal in Gaza. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump returned to the White House around 3 o'clock this morning.
I'd like to talk about phase 2 of the deal. Already Hamas has said they're not willing to disarm. What leverage do you have over Hamas at this point?
We have a lot of leverage over them, and the countries that would back them or had backed them in the past are not going to be doing it any further. And I think they want peace also. They've gone through hell.
That was Fox's Trey Yingst with the president, who went to Israel and Egypt to celebrate the release of the last 20 living hostages. And Trey Yingst reports.
It was a day of celebration on Monday with so many reunions, former hostages meeting their families again after more than 2 years. We do expect to get more updates on their health conditions today from local hospitals.
Hamas has so far only turned over 4 bodies of the 28 dead hostages the group also held in Gaza, which will need to be rebuilt after the war that killed 67,000 Palestinians. And Fox's Jonathan Savage reports.
The truce between Israel and Hamas means a new chance to relieve suffering in Gaza. The United Nations Emergency Relief Coordinator Tom Fletcher says an extra $11 million has just been released.
Winter is coming. We've got to get shelter and fuel to people who desperately need it and massively scale up the food and medicine and other supplies going in.
The Senate returns today, planning another funding vote with much of the government shut down a 14th day. House Speaker Mike Johnson warns.
We're barreling toward one of the longest shutdowns in American history unless Democrats drop their partisan demands and pass a clean, no-strings-attached budget to reopen the government and pay our federal workers.
Democrats blame Republicans for refusing to negotiate on health care provisions they want to add to the funding. President Trump will pay tribute to Charlie Kirk today. It would have been the conservative activist's 32nd birthday. He'll posthumously award Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor, a little over a month after Kirk was assassinated. America's listening to Fox News.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF, and see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
Search for the Extra 106.3 app wherever you download apps by searching XTRA 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Tug and Los until 10.
There you go, Meemaw.
On the Morning
It's
Xtra.
the Meemaw, the Tug who found a animal video that he's enjoying so much.
It's hysterical. It's like this sheep. You know the big old, like you'd put it out in a field if you have cattle. It's the big black container that you'd fill up with water so the animals have something to drink.
Sure.
Well, this one turns out to be empty. And this appears to be a sheep is very unhappy with the fact that this thing is empty, and he's going to attack it. And so he sets it up the way he wants, and then he backs up, and he's running. He's getting ready to run right toward it, and just put a big old hole, and he's so ticked off. And then he puts
his head falls into it, and he flips over.
He flips him over. It's great. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but it is. I've watched this thing about 13 times already.
Again, this is why he's your radio Meemaw.
That's exactly
when
right.
your grandma sends you a video of, like, this one cracked me up, that's what Tug does.
That's exactly right.
He's like, this one got me.
Dude, I can't help it, man. I don't know what it is. Just seeing animals flip themselves over inadvertently is really, really funny.
My dad mistake I haven't paid for recently.
Well, look, see, Los, this morning, Los made the,
I grabbed the fork.
So what you have to know about Los is he and his wife don't have, they don't eat meats and dairies and things like that anymore just because it doesn't agree with their body.
Especially dairy.
His daughter,
Dairy's
being a
the devil.
sweetheart, being a great kid, made dinner for the family last night. She made one bowl for her and her sister with cheese and dairy. She made one for mom and dad who don't consume that.
And
this morning,
I grabbed a fork and just lifted the top. Tried to grab a couple of bites before I headed out.
And now you look like that.
It was a second bite when I went, oh, no.
Now you look like that sheep.
Now I look like that sheep.
Get tossed all around. So good.
So I'm just saying I'm here until I'm not.
For the moment.
Yes.
And if you hear Los hightailing it out,
I suddenly go, oh, no.
You're watching on the YouTube channel, you hear Los hightailing it out, you see Los hightailing it out, you know exactly what has happened. That's what we try to do on the show, keep you informed.
Hello, welcome, Atlanta.
That's right.
Thank you for being here.
Even about BMs on the show. We'll gross you out from time to time, too.
I just want the audience to know that when there's a rush out the door, it's with good reason.
Here's what has transpired. And maybe you can relate. I don't know. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3. Across the social media platforms, Trump was called the greatest friend to Israel in 2,500 years. We'll get to that in a moment. But the Israelis, Los, they knew something I think that we may not have known. We probably thought it, but they knew it.
This was actually as much as all the roses were being thrown around yesterday, that was part of what was going on. There was something that occurred that I don't think that we even really grasp what was going on, because the Israelis are at war. We're not. You know, we have our trials and our tribulations, but we knew that when it came down to Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, we knew there was going to be some changes if Donald Trump was back in office. But it's different for when it came to the Israelis. The Israelis looked at him as, you are the person who can get things done, including end the war that we're involved in. And I want you to take a listen. This is Bibi Netanyahu, and he talked about what happened on election night. Because remember when they had the video of the sign on the highway that was like, congratulations, President Trump?
Yes.
I mean, it happened the night of his election. And they knew things were changing based on his election. Take a listen.
Just at that point of maximum pressure on Israel, a man named Donald J. Trump was elected President of the United States. And ladies and gentlemen, overnight, everything changed. Everything.
We felt it right here.
Mr. President, thanks to your unequivocal backing of Israel, we secured a second hostage deal within weeks of your election. And in the months that followed, we worked closely together to forge a path to bring the remaining hostages home and end the war. End the war in a way that ensures the disarming of Hamas, the demilitarization of Gaza, and that Gaza would never again pose a threat to Israel.
That is so unique in that he pointed out, once he got into office, they suddenly had the sword. They suddenly were able to help secure another hostage exchange. They were now able to say, hey, you know that administration over in D.C., they got our back again.
Which we've not had, and we've felt that. And then to take it one step further, Los, and we've seen this because Netanyahu mentioned the two different hostage releases early on, and we had hostages say the exact same thing that I saw hostages saying yesterday. A former Hamas hostage said the terrorists were scared of Trump, and his treatment even improved when Trump was elected. A hostage released earlier said the same thing. Peace through strength, I think, is palpable. You can see it. You can see behavior changing because of that sword, because of that peace through strength mentality that Donald Trump brought. This hostage, the video that I saw yesterday, he said, as soon as Trump was elected, they fed me better. They actually gave me more water because they knew that the walls were closing in. And they said, you talked to the Palestinian and the Hamas captors? You talked to them about politics? He's like, yeah, we did. And they knew that they were cheering. He said they were cheering for Kamala Harris because they knew this would be able to continue if Donald Trump wasn't elected.
See, Crazy Aunt Peg and whoever your other crazy uncle is, you know, most of my followers on X who get into this sort of stuff, there is something that I don't believe they can deny anymore. For all the people that were on the street and causing all the craziness over Free Palestine, I don't see any yellow ribbons. I don't see any flags. I don't see them celebrating.
It was never about that.
No, it was always about anti-Semitism and anti-Americanism.
100%.
And that's what it was really always about. And
they found good bedfellows with that message.
And so when you take a look at what that Kamala Harris campaign was, there was one person that made a whole lot of sense to go ahead and bring in, and that was Josh Shapiro. And what was the decision? I can't possibly bring in a popular governor out of the state of Pennsylvania because he's just too damn Jewish.
Yeah. And Kamala sits in her book. It's not like us making it up.
It's like,
it's in her book.
Pete Buttigieg, too gay. Josh Shapiro, too Jewish. All right? So that's why you ended up with a Tim Walz. Like, okay, that was weird. But to think this was anything other than anti-Semitism and anti-Americanism, and that is now two of the hallmarks of the left. And you can say, well, I'm not anti-Semitic. Then why do you support anti-Semites?
They very clearly are. They make it very obvious that they don't care for it, or they feel like their voters don't care for it.
I mean, I'm so anti-Semitic that I was the guy in college that was like, I'm going to take the Old Testament so I know my Jewish friends better.
That's exactly right. Speaking of.
I'm going to go over to my friend Jeremy Spiegel, whose dad's a rabbi, and they keep kosher in their home, and I want to learn everything about what they're doing. I'm so anti-Semitic that I happen to support these things and want to learn about them. What were you doing? You couldn't even pick Josh Shapiro.
That's not a big leap.
He's the most popular Democrat governor from a swing state, and you're like, too Jewish, can't do it. Don't want to offend the Muslim end of things.
No, that's right.
No, look at this. Free Palestine.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We'll lose.
Okay, Donald Trump did. Where are you? Where's your flags? Where are your yellow ribbons?
It was never about Palestine. It was never about anything except we are anti-Semitic, just like you said, and we're anti-American. We want to destroy this country. We don't like it. We don't want it to exist the way it exists. We need to take it back to a Stone Age kind of place. And that's it.
And it's strange when you're on Blue Sky, and I don't have an account, but you can still jump on there. Man, it's weird. It's like crickets. There is almost zero discussion of any sort of Middle Eastern peace deal.
Why would there be? They don't care about those things.
It is strange.
Yeah. Is that it there?
Yeah.
I've never even seen it. I've never even went over. I see lots of pictures of birds. There's some football, some Hulu there, a New York Times article that I see that you had up. But I mean, there's nothing about the peace deal. Zero.
I'm trying to go ahead and search, tell me more about Israel.
Can't find anything.
Taylor Swift was on Good Morning America.
Oh, yeah.
Important things.
Yes, that's right. The most important things. Peace deal, nothing. Search, unavailable.
Search, unavailable.
Of course.
How weird.
But it's not weird at all, dude.
No, it just fits the echo chamber.
It illustrates exactly what's going on left-wing Democrat echo chambers and media platforms like Blue Sky, which I was told was going to destroy Twitter. They're going to destroy X. Everybody was leaving to go over there.
Yeah, not so much.
I don't know if there's anybody over there.
It was all news organizations that were like, I'm not going on X anymore. They're mean. I'm like, no, you just got to be able to defend yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Defend your ideas. And most of them can't.
And listen, I'd post things, and it's not always correct, but I'm like, all right, let's have the discussion.
Sure. It's easy to get things wrong. I mean, life changes so quickly. Events change so rapidly. Yeah, nobody's going to get it exactly right. But that's the beauty is that you can have the discussion about it. I bet you couldn't over on Blue Sky. Something tells me.
Not by the looks of it.
Yeah, I see a lot of anime, which scares me. That makes me nervous.
There's a lot of anime furry culture over
it makes me nervous.
Blue Sky.
I'm not comfortable around all that.
That's all Tug needs in his life is furry culture.
If it ends in con or furry, I'm out.
You can just tell your wife, I need a change.
Yeah. I want you to dress up like
a
bunny rabbit.
I want you to dress up like a big chipmunk. Once you're in a big chipmunk costume.
No, thank you.
That's what's going to excite old Tug.
Yes, that's going to light the flame.
It's going to light the flame.
There's an old flame burning. Some old Alabama song playing.
I'm tired of you, but if you put yourself in a big chipmunk costume,
I think that'll do it.
I'm going to light the flame.
What do you think? I want bigger ears than normal, though.
I need extremely big chipmunk ears.
That's right. And cheeks and things.
If you can find an Alvin shirt. I'll be so impressed.
And wear it upside down. Or put a big circle around it like anarchy. Come on, you can be Anarchy Alvin. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic.
Oh, that's creepy. Yeah, no, I think you need to go tell her. You need to go report back on that one.
So creepy and so weird. I want nothing to do with any of it.
I know it's been 20 plus years, but I need you to be Anarchy Alvin.
She'd be like, what in the world? That's insane. I don't know what you're talking about. Donald Trump, in line with this conversation, he was called the greatest friend to Israel in 2,500 years since Cyrus the Great, who freed the Jewish people from Babylonian captivity by issuing the Edict of Restoration following the Persian conquest of Babylon that's described in the Old Testament, Los, something that you took a class on.
I think it's fascinating that they were looking at him as one of the great people that is bringing a level of peace and prosperity and freedom to that region. And I think it's also important, too. You know, one of the things that's going to bother the left, and I haven't unleashed the big guns yet, but I'm thinking about doing it today. We'll see. How much fun is it? Because they got really upset about this after Pennsylvania when you told them, well, Donald Trump clearly, it was an act of God that spared his life. He moved his head a split second before a bullet was about to blow it off.
It's unreal, man.
All right.
Think about.
He looked at a sign and his ear was clipped. He was going to be assassinated, and yet he was spared by God. To think that, and you can always go through any part of your Bible and you will find that God typically picks out people to do his bidding that are highly flawed.
Oh my gosh, it's King David. God's favorite.
Yeah.
An adulterer, a murderer.
Highly flawed.
Highly flawed.
Yet, this is the person to deliver the message. This is the person to deliver what is now going to be, hopefully, peace in a region that doesn't know a lot of peace. And it's going to come. It's almost better that it comes from a guy who is so highly flawed to the left that you can say, this is divine intervention, and this is a divinity that would only make the left go incredibly insane about it. To think that he was spared to do great things because he is a flawed person.
Dude, and if you saw the video of him, I think it was on Air Force One, there were someone talking to him about faith, and he goes, yeah, I don't think I'm getting into heaven. And
he brought it right up.
He's like, I don't think I'm getting in. I don't think I'm getting in. And there's so many good discussions based on that one statement, because he knows he's a highly flawed person. He doesn't hide it. He doesn't run from it. I think Butler changed him from the person that he was to the person that he is now. And I think the way he looks at life is very different than maybe he did the day before Butler.
And I think about, did Butler, Pennsylvania create a guy who was so singularly focused on creating peace in the world that I was this close to being gone? Now that I have this renewed sense of what my place in the world is supposed to be, I want to be the peace bringer.
Yeah. I mean, you would have to think it had some sort of effect like that to see him fight so hard for what we saw yesterday. To fight so hard for that, because there's been plenty of presidents that have had the same opportunities, but not the same success.
Again, you want to make your liberal friends crazy? Insist that he survive from divine intervention in order to deliver peace to the world as a flawed human being.
Most of them don't believe in God, so they would scoff at that to begin with.
Good.
Right. No, I agree. It wouldn't bother me at all.
It is a real life biblical story.
For sure it is, dude. Absolutely.
It is in your face happening right now.
Dude, that is dead on, deadly accurate, and something that would drive your liberal friends absolutely bonkers. If I were to say that to Aunt Peg, her head might explode in the living room. I mean, it'd be an awful mess. Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra. When we come back, Neil Bortz, the talk master. The only place you get him is Extra, and we got him next.
This one's for Charlie Kirk. We tip our hats to a voice that helps shape the conversation. Happy birthday, Charlie. Your message still echoes here on Extra 106.3.
You and your buddy. You've been through a lot with each other. The ups and the downs. He's been with you every morning, noon, and night. You've traveled the world together. Heck, he was even with you on your first big date. But have you noticed he's struggling lately? Not performing on the job. He can't even stand up straight anymore. He's wanting to cry out for help, but just doesn't know how. He needs Dr. Deal and Total Body Therapy of Georgia. They can give him the gift of good posture this year, help him stand proud and become all he was meant to be. Now, take him by the hand, look him in the eye and say, I appreciate you, little fella, and we're going to get you some help. We're going to call 404-777-1911. We're going to visit stopmyed.com. We are going to say goodbye to erectile dysfunction forever. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. It's a hard conversation to have, but it's one worth having. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Online at stopmyed.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Are home repairs piling up? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Relax. We've got you covered. From drywall dings and leaky faucets to deck repairs and trim replacement, we're your one-stop shop for everything for your home needs. No more juggling multiple contractors. Just call us at the Trusted Toolbox and we'll handle it. Your home deserves the best, and we don't want you breaking your back trying. Call the Trusted Toolbox today at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. The Trusted Toolbox, your one-stop shop for home repairs and more.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. The historic Middle East peace deal and the release of the remaining living hostages from Gaza has seemingly quieted the loudest progressive voices in Congress. Democratic Michigan Representative Rashida Tlaib, who is Palestinian, New York Democrat Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and Minnesota Representative Ilhan Omar have demanded a, quote, ceasefire now for 2 years. But now that the fighting is ending, there have been scant comments from these lawmakers. Democratic Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman is one one of the most ardent voices for Israel in the Democratic Party. He also applauded President Trump for working out a package, but Fetterman wouldn't weigh in on why his colleagues are afraid to praise President Trump for the deal. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is the highest-ranking Jewish official in American history. He offered more praise for the deal than some of his Democratic colleagues. Schumer said, quote, "The work is not over, but any step to end this nightmare is one that should be celebrated." Independent Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders says that Israel, quote, "must abandon its current extremist course and move toward a genuine two-state solution." With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
It's October 14th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is Dessert Day, one of my favorite days on the calendar. Celebrate by selecting your favorite delicacies and indulging in them while exploring the ever-growing number of options we have to experience in the world of sweets. On this day in 1964, civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for nonviolent resistance to racial prejudice in America. At 35, he was the youngest person ever to receive the honor. U.S. Air Force Captain Chuck Yeager becomes the first person to fly faster than the speed of sound in 1947. Born on this day in 1978, singer, songwriter, businessman, and dancer, Usher. Dying on this day in 2009, famous pro wrestler Captain Lou Albano, who suffered a heart attack. I'm CJ Papa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Tuesday, October 14th. Early voting begins today at 6 locations in Cobb County for mayoral candidates and city council seats. Voters have until October 31st to cast their vote if they want to do so before the election day in November 4th. 2 seats on the Georgia Public Service Commission in Districts 2 and 3 are also on the ticket. Cobb County commissioners have postponed a vote on the appointment of James Farrell as the new police chief. Farrell has been serving as interim chief since April when Stuart Van Hooser retired. The delay was requested by Chairwoman Lisa Cupid. She's seeking to address issues related to the search and selection process for a new chief. The commission will now vote on October 28th. And Atlanta's Fox Theater has been named Theater of the Year from the International Entertainment Buyers Association. Fox Theater president and CEO Alan Vela says the venue has welcomed over 600,000 guests in the past year and generated more than $50 million in ticket sales. The Fox brings back ghost tours of the historic building this month. Today's weather clear and sunny with highs in the lower 80s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Oh, my goodness gracious. It is a good day.
He is here.
The man, the myth, the legend, Neil Mortz. Neil, what's up, man?
And I'm going right back to bed as soon as.
Okay.
Well,
because I can.
That's okay, Puma Bortz. We back you on this.
Right. You're wearing your nice comfy unders. And
he doesn't wear underwear at this point.
Whoa, okay then. And then cuddle up, maybe spoon with the queen or something.
Who knows?
Oh, see.
I don't have a tea time, so what else are you going to do?
I'd get me a egg sandwich and go back to bed.
Eggs. Oh, God.
What? You don't like eggs?
Oh, God, no.
What?
Okay, what's a Neil Bortz breakfast? I've never thought about even asking you this, but now I'm curious.
Well, actually, you're gonna laugh, but I like oatmeal, and the easiest, quickest oatmeal breakfast in town is McDonald's.
Okay.
My kids dig it.
Yeah.
So it's you and them.
Yeah, and so Don and I were not too long ago. We're at McDonald's getting my oatmeal and a sausage patty. And Donna said, "Hey, that's Judge Judy over there."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I turned and looked. No, that's a homeless woman. That's not Judge.
Oh, I was going to say, is Judge
anyway,
Judy still with us?
Judge Judy smells of money. Like I don't think she goes to McDonald's.
Well, she lives next door. So.
Oh,
but we very rarely see her. Very rarely.
Is she friendly when you do?
Hell no.
Oh, she's just as angry as she is on the TV shows?
I've never. Of all the time we've lived in the same neighborhood, I've never heard anybody refer to her. Oh, she's friendly. But then again, they never say that about me either.
Oh,
so,
see, I would
at any rate, when we finished my oatmeal and walked outside, and there's this cream-colored Rolls-Royce convertible sitting out there, I looked at Don and said, okay, that was Judge Judy. You're right.
So, it wasn't a homeless person in the Rolls Royce. Okay. That makes more sense now.
But that level of celebrity is really, really very hard to live with.
Yeah, I've
I know.
had a conversation like that.
My wife and friends deal with Tug.
Well, no, that's definitely not that. But I mean, like with country artists that I've dealt with over the years, they say, man, I can't even go to, like it was Kenny Chesney specifically. He said, I can't go to Walmart. He was like, not because I'm too good. It's because I don't want to cause a mess for them.
Well, I'm in a much more minor sense. I mean, Donna and I, when we lived in Atlanta, first of all, I would have people, we had a driveway that was 200 feet long to get to our house.
Goodness.
And people would walk down that driveway. Thanks to the Atlanta magazine that decided they needed to tell everybody where we live.
Yeah,
they would walk down that driveway just to key our cars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks. Did you ever have to consider, or did you ever hire security to stop that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I didn't have to. Cox would hire the security for us.
Oh, well, even better.
And when we were first married, living on Chamblee Dunwoody Road, I mean, I'd be laying in bed at night trying to go to sleep, and a car would drive by. F you, boards! So all that nonsense. But anyway, I note in the paper, and this is not a great topic for today, but I just happened to note in the paper that MARTA is now looking for a new leader. Why is that going to be so hard? Do you know how many career welfare recipients there are in Atlanta?
There should be somebody to take a hold of that. I mean, it's a failing entity. It's not like it's going to get better. So just hire anybody.
Remember, at one time, and this was over 20 years ago, the chairman of the board of directors at MARTA was a career welfare recipient who had never lived in public housing all her life and had never held a job.
It's a surprise that MARTA didn't improve.
Yeah. So now I want you, can you imagine? I mean, come on, we need to cover this part of the whole Israeli thing. Can you imagine the distress of Democrat leaders and Democrat officials right now after Donald Trump walks in and gets this accomplished when Obama couldn't and Biden couldn't and Clinton couldn't? I mean, imagine their distress. Sorry. Tell Mike to get a blasted mute switch on this thing. Anyway, they've got to just be, rending their clothes, let's say, right now.
I'll tell you this, Neil, and this is something that I enjoyed yesterday, was going back almost a year in time and recognizing that outside of taxpayer dollars that went to Israel, the biggest contribution, the biggest moment of Joe Biden, like, look what we got done, was building a $500 million pier into Gaza that failed within 2 weeks.
And the Pentagon told them that it was going to fail, that it wasn't going to work.
And, well, they did that after D-Day in Normandy. That one worked. But that may be his single biggest accomplishment. Yesterday, AOC, nothing to say. Bernie Sanders, nothing to say. They're just sitting back saying, my God, how do we beat this? How do we get some support for Democrat policies and philosophy? We can't. It's not there. And they're just beside themselves trying to figure out how in the world they're going to get back on the program again.
Well, all their talk about fascism and this is what's going on in this country and look what Donald Trump is doing. When you deliver peace around the world, it really felt like their entire narrative took a monstrous hit yesterday. And I think that's a lot of the reason why many of them did not do what they typically do. Fascism, division, this guy is the next Hitler. If he's Hitler, he's doing a really bad job of taking care of being Hitler.
All time. But don't ever forget the words of Han Solo.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay, Han Solo. When Luke Skywalker scored his first hit on an Empire X fighter or whatever they call those things.
Oh, it's an X-Wing.
X-Wing.
TIE fighters, yes.
Yeah. I got one. And Han Solo said, good kid, don't get cocky.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the message right now for the Republicans. Don't get cocky. Okay, you scored a big one here, but this whole thing is not over. Don't get cocky.
No, that's right.
I mean, there's a lot of work to do here.
There's a lot of yards ahead before you get to the touchdown.
So my next question. is Neil Bortz a Star Wars fan? I mean, you just went 1977 to New Hope. I'm just curious. This is a side of you that I don't know about.
Oh, early Star Wars, yes.
Yeah, so we both acknowledge that the first 3 movies, and that's the trilogy, and everything else is.
Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons I was such a Star Wars fan is that I completely understood the Force.
Nice. All right, explain this to Tug.
Yeah, I feel a little deer in headlights right now.
No. The Force is real. I mean, it is real.
Meaning evil?
No, not evil. But in 1972, I underwent Don and I both did, a totally life-changing event. We spent 2 full weekends, 12 hours Saturday, Sunday for two full weekends, going through something called Silva Mind Control.
Well, I got to look this up.
Wow, me too. What is this?
Or now I think they call it the Silva Method. But all it did was teach you how to use the power of your own mind. Isn't that what the Force is?
Wow,
that's the idea of it, yeah.
How to use your own mind. And I put it to work. Donna did, and it worked beautifully for us. How are we talking about this after this Gaza story? But I'll tell you this. After I took the bar exam, and the passing rate on the Georgia bar exam was very much lower at that time than the passing rate in most states. So I used the principles I learned from Silva to get together a bunch of senior law students. And, of course, I charged them and to teach them how to program themselves to pass the bar exam.
Well, I need you to help me program just to pass every day.
The bottom line is that over 80% of the people that I taught passed the bar exam.
We've got to schedule some time with Neil.
But here's what's so important about this, because a lot of it is the idea of you're able to enter a relaxed state and you're able to be alert and you're able to be cognizant of what's going on. It is the direct opposite of being emotional. And so, like, when you're sitting there arguing with your liberal friend who's going nuts over stuff, you're the one who's sitting there being rational because you can actually relax and be rational and alert.
Is that what Charlie Kirk did, do you think? Do you think he was capable of that? Because he was always calm in the face of, people coming at him and calling him all kinds of names.
He found something that worked.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, it's not time for the Republicans to rest on their laurels.
No, of course not.
There is a lot of work now. We have Hamas saying, we're not going to disarm. Well, as it was explained earlier, I think in one of your newscasts, hey, you don't have the international support behind you that you used to have. So it's advantage our side right now. You can go ahead and beat your chest and try to talk tough after this agreement was reached. But, yeah, you're one way or the other. You're going to disarm. I was watching. I love these things. I love these things on TV where you take college students. Excuse me a minute. It's so early. Do you get me talking like this? I don't sound like this on Kimmer's show. But it's so. It's just so early in this game that they talk to these college students. It's genocide. It's and they're wearing their little scarves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then one guy says, well, you're wearing a sign that says, from the river, free Palestine, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Yes. Okay, tell me, what river, what sea? And all of a sudden, this look of complete stupidity falls across this girl's face. She stares at this guy, and she can't say what river, the Jordan, by the way, and she cannot say what sea, the Mediterranean. So she just looks at him like a deer in headlights, turns around and walks away.
Well, you've noticed they haven't really said a whole lot in the last 48 hours now that we have a peace deal. For those that were screaming on college campuses to free Palestine, I don't really see them out and about, hanging ribbons or celebrating any of this stuff, which to me basically says this was largely about being anti-Semitic and anti-American, and that was all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But here's another mystery for you. Check out the next election in New York City, which is going to be fun.
Well, I'm not sure how fun it's going to be, especially with, there's an article in the New York Times, I believe.
He's going to win.
No, yeah, he's definitely going to win. And that's the thing. Right now, people are noticing that Venezuela is falling apart and Cuba is falling apart, and there's rolling blackouts. Their money is worth nothing. They have nothing. And that's what they want for New York City and the United States.
Well, watch the election and note how many Jewish voters continue to vote Democrat.
That's going to be fascinating to watch that trend especially over the next year and into the midterms.
And how the hell does that happen?
Unclear. I can't make heads or tails of that.
But these Hamas people, I saw somewhere this morning an editorial cartoon, 3-panel, of Biden saying, we'll negotiate, and Hamas saying, we've got explosives, or something like. The last panel had had Trump saying, we've got the explosives, and Hamas saying, we'll negotiate. They're afraid of him.
Yeah.
Justifiably so. Could you imagine in your wildest dreams, and that, by the way, is such a great song.
By Taylor Swift, Wildest Dreams?
Wildest Dreams.
Yeah.
Such a great... But can you imagine any of those bloodthirsty Islamic radical goons over there being afraid of Joe Biden?
No, and the hostages said that, and Bibi Netanyahu said it.
Kamala Harris would be the easier option. And I'll tell you, Neil, and I think this is very astute that you brought it up, and I think this is really important, knowing that Donald Trump basically isolated Hamas, where Turkey turned their back on them, Jordan turned their back on them, Egypt turned their back on them, and basically they all told him, you better take the deal because he's got a big old stick and he's going to hit you with it.
I know. I think he did. I saw a cut. I don't know if it was 1 year old, 10 years old, 20 years old, Donald Trump. And he was saying, look, this is what I do. I make deals. He's basically saying, that is my only talent. I make deals. And he, by God, made one here, and I really want to see it hold. I imagine now. One of you, tell me why I'm all wet here. Tell me why I'm wrong.
About the deal holding?
No, why can't Gaza, which is beautiful real estate, a little messy right now.
Yeah, lots of buildings down and things.
Yeah. But the cleanup can advance fairly quick because there's not a lot you're going to preserve.
It should be a paradise.
Why can't it be like Dubai?
Yeah.
Why, with beautiful high rises?
Yeah.
And right down to zip lines and harbors and yachts coming in from the Mediterranean. Why can't it be like that?
Well, it could if things work the way they're supposed to, and there's no way of knowing that it's going to. But that's why Saudi Arabia is on board. When Los was naming off the countries that now do not back Hamas, that do back the Donald Trump plan for peace. UAE's in there, Dubai's in there. You got Saudi Arabia and all the other countries too. They realize economically we can give our people a wonderful life, and they will be thankful to us and continue to have us as their leadership. So they see the economic value there, and I think they probably see it for that part of the world too. They see it for Gaza. The potential is there.
Well, they got to work fast, clean up, and start showing the world that can be a reality, and that makes a bunch of terrorist goons like Hamas. It puts them on the outside where they have no hope of coming. Could you imagine a group like Hamas having any foothold at all in Dubai?
No.
Get the hell out of here. We're not paying any attention to you.
Egypt has a very big border wall to prevent those Palestinians from coming across because they've had that radical element there that they've had to fight. Jordan, too.
But for the longest time, the Middle East has been oil money, but now they have expanded into, all right, we're getting more into technology, we're getting more into AI, we're getting more into golf. The more things they get involved in, the broader they open themselves up to the rest of the world. And they're basically looking at Hamas going, why are you so narrow-minded?
Why are you living in the Stone Ages still?
Yeah.
And then we have all these, so-called Palestinians, which is a total made-up term, by the way.
Yes.
But they're now coming back into the Gaza Strip, coming back in to reclaim whatever is left of what was once theirs. But this is a talent pool. These people all aren't mad, bloodthirsty, kill the Jews.
No, you're right.
And there's a talent pool. There's a labor pool.
Yes.
They could build something magnificent along that Gaza Strip with the help of the rest of the Middle East and particularly of Israel.
Yeah, they could.
But Hamas, these goons are going to be dedicated to regaining the power. And I something else I saw, some of the things that they might want to do in Hamas is, first of all, order new pagers because the last ones they had problems.
Yeah, they'll need a new form of communication.
One of the greatest moves in espionage ever.
Ever, as nothing even compares.
I enjoyed those videos.
So I was like, man, that dude's butt just blew up in a store.
Dude looked down at his pager to see the number, and it blew up right in his face.
Wait a minute. What's this laid over here on the floor? It looks like a gonad.
Well, it turns out it is. Neil Bortz, the talk master.
Okay. Are you kicking me out now?
Well, no. You can stay as long as you like.
No.
But I was thinking you'd probably want that egg
That
sandwich.
means Tug.
And
eggs. Oh, God.
Or you want your oatmeal and then you go spoon with the queen.
I just want to let Neil know, do or do not. There is no try.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that. Yoda was my hero in Star Wars.
I'm so impressed.
I identified with Yoda more than any other character there.
I'm too shallow to identify.
I would have liked to have played the role of Darth Vader.
You would have made a good Darth Vader because of your height.
Yeah.
And your stature.
Yeah. You meant to say bulk.
Well, no, I didn't know. I would never say that. No, I always try to be polite, Neil Bortz.
Boy, did Luke Skywalker turn into a huge weenie.
Yeah, I sure did. But I will tell you, though, out of all the Star Wars movies, the only one outside of the first three, Rogue One.
Yeah,
Rogue One is awesome.
Yeah, there you go. Neil, thank you so much.
Be good.
We'll do our best, as best we can, when we come back on Extra 106.3. And
there's a deeper appreciation right now for Neil Bortz.
I know, dude. I'm interested in this book. The book that he told us, The Silva Mind Control Method by Jose Silva.
Well, I'm sorry. I bought into the whole Star Wars bit. I'm like, yes.
Well, but that too. But that's what it spawned from. When we come back, extra flashback. Biden was told his plan wouldn't work, and it didn't. And you paid for it. Next on Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to Extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, October 14th. The Atlanta Falcons are now 3-2 on the season after beating the Buffalo Bills at home 24-14. The final. Quarterback Michael Penix Jr. threw for 250 yards. Running back Bijan Robinson runs for 170 on the ground. The Chicago Bears, they beat the Washington Commanders 25-24 after a last-second field goal. For Major League Baseball, the Mariners are headed back to Seattle up 2-0 after a 10-3 victory over the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Los Angeles Dodgers are up 1-0 after beating the Milwaukee Brewers last night in LA 2-1. The final. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Its intelligent technology is intuitive. Its responsive performance, responsible. Turbo power with a hybrid assist, a digital yet sensual cockpit, and sporty elegance helps make the C-Class a driver's delight and paradise for passengers. Get an exceptional offer on the 2025 Mercedes-Benz C300 sedan. Just $499 per month for 36 months with $5,043 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the RBM of Atlanta's fall sales event, now through October 31st. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through October 31st, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
A bride from Cincinnati who had her landlord walk her down the aisle makes today's Dean's List. Shacole Fox never knew her dad and went through life without an important father figure in her life. When she got engaged and started planning her wedding, she didn't realize how much she wanted a special person to walk her down the aisle. But on that day, she received a wonderful surprise from someone she never expected. Her 79-year-old landlord, Gil Pullian. Gil owns the studio where Shacole works as a makeup artist. She invited him to her wedding and was taken aback when Gil asked if he could escort her down the aisle. Clearly touched by the sweet gesture, she said yes, and the moment was unforgettable. Shacole says when the music started to play and he grabbed her hand, it was like a wound that had been healed in her heart. It gave her special day an even deeper meaning and a moment of love and kindness she will never forget. Janice Dean, Fox News.
Fox Rocks.
I'm Monica DeLuca. Taylor Swift claims the top 12 spots on the latest Billboard Hot 100, all from her new album, The Life of a Showgirl. The top song is The Fate of Ophelia, scoring Swift her 13th career Hot 100 #1 song, tying for the 4th most ever. This also brings her total of top 10 songs to 69, which is the most among female artists. Niall Horan may be busy coaching a new season of The Voice, but he also has some new music coming out. Announcing in a joint Instagram post with Thomas Rhett, their new collab version of Rhett's song called Old Tricks is coming out Friday. The original Old Tricks appeared on the 2025 deluxe edition of Rhett's About a Woman album and featured Blake Shelton. That's Fox Rocks on Fox News.
Today, we reflect on the life of Charlie Kirk on what would have been his 32nd birthday. Gone far too young, Charlie represented an unabashed pride in the American way of life, unafraid to speak out, and contributed so much to the conservative movement. His legacy lives on in the voices of conservatives across the nation and right here in Atlanta, on your only home for conservative news and talk. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Sometimes things just come together and you don't expect them to, and that's kind of the way it happened this morning. I'll flash you back to like 7:03. And then Los created via AI our exact conversation. And I would have never guessed that it would. We live in a crazy time. And so Los had said, he had accused me of being a furry. And I was like, no.
I said that.
No, I'm not.
That you and your wife might try and spicing things up, and that for some reason you want her to dress up in a chipmunk costume.
That's right. And then to add to it, I said, yes. And I want larger ears and, chunky chipmunk cheeks, and then an A for Alvin, but make it the anarchy sign instead of the regular Alvin block A.
And so at that point, I just heard,
went to work.
I need you to use AI to create Anarchy Alvin.
And he went to work and has discovered Anarchy Alvin, the weird furry.
As I pointed out, I put this out on X at Front Office Los is where I posted this one, was this is what Tug is going to ask his wife to wear on their anniversary. I need you in a chipmunk costume. I need you to be Anarchy Alvin.
What do you think, honey? It's just all weird and creepy.
Yeah, that's funny.
So that was a flashback to 7 o'clock this morning, a little less than an hour ago. A flashback now on Extra 106.3.
Oh, here we go. Oh, I've been transported back.
Yes, you have.
To 2024. Now, I was looking up this story, and then I started digging a little bit deeper because for what Donald Trump has been able to accomplish in the region in terms of dealing with Israel and Hamas and the war that they have had going on, and you recognize the peace deal, We're on step 5. I think at this point, we've cleared step 5. We're on to step 6. Step 6 was about creating the council that is going to be taking care of the area. It's step 7 and 8 that are going to be difficult. That's where you're going to get rid of Hamas, and Hamas has to demilitarize. And what version is that? We're not really sure yet, because the discussion has been they might be able to keep some of their arms, not all of them. In the same way that we had the Germans after World War II, hey, you can't military up as much as you want. Same thing with the Japanese. You can still defend yourself, but here's what we got to do. So one of the interesting aspects as I was looking back on it is, well, what did Joe Biden do? And Joe Biden, to his credit, there was money that went to Israel. There were defense systems that went to Israel in order to deal with some of the other bad actors in the region. There was a carrier group that went to Israel, went into the Mediterranean in order to provide a legitimate amount of, if you act wrong, we got a group out here. But what was his biggest contribution that was seen, that was physical? And what it was Biden's Gaza pier. Now, this is a story from Reuters. The amount of troops that were injured.
Yes.
In order to put this thing together. In fact, the story from May of last year, more than 60 service members were injured as part of former President Joe Biden's floating aid pier in Gaza. A Pentagon Inspector General reported, published on Tuesday, said a number significantly higher than what had been previously disclosed. This man, everything he touched from a material, logistical, military standpoint was a failure.
And the Pentagon had already told him, I want you to watch this video, Los. You can see it. You can see the waves that are rocking this pier, because the Pentagon said, hey, this pier is not going to be able to stand up to the waves that are coming into the shore. They told him, it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. And Joe Biden knew it and still said, I don't care. I need to look like I'm doing something.
I'm aiding Gaza. Here's a $500 million pier that failed in what,
miserably.
The span of like 12 days?
I think, what is it, 62 troops? Okay, it lasted 20 days. It lasted 20 days at a cost of whatever that number was.
$500
million. 20 days. I bet there was so little food delivered, so little aid delivered, because the stinking thing wasn't capable of functioning. The military told him the waves are too big. And then when you watch the video of the pier completely rocking and rolling, looking like a ship out in the middle of the ocean, you understand why. Joe Biden didn't understand why, because he has no idea what was going on.
It was so easy for Donald Trump, and here's what you have to tell your liberal Aunt Peg and her friends and everybody else. It was so easy for Donald Trump that he got done what Joe Biden had 4 years to do. He got it done in 8 months with the same resources and the same scenario. And I think this is more important, a larger level of respect from the rest of the world community. Joe was so far gone, nobody was listening. They all knew it.
Even the Hamas terrorists told the hostages, we hope Trump don't get elected.
Like, he's a space cadet. We don't have to worry.
We don't have to worry about anything. If that's why they physically were cheering for Kamala Harris.
And then you have a $500 million pier that disintegrates within 2 weeks. And you're sitting back being like, I'm the commander-in-chief.
Sure you are.
Sure you are.
That's right.
The world is a better place with Donald Trump in charge.
Without a doubt. And you're seeing the fruits of that labor already, just like Lo said, in 8 months. They had 4 years. They did nothing except make it harder for you as an American. Now we're turning that corner, and hopefully things are trending in the right direction, or at least we see that things are trending in the right direction. Probably a better way to say that. Praise for Trump because of this and 7 other peace deals. But he's a dictator. And if he is, it's a terrible dictator. So we'll talk about those things that Trump got praised for and who was heaping on the praise. Next on Extra.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Well, off we go into the wonderful world of academia yet again. I used to feature the thesis summaries for graduate students. Some of them were too ridiculous to even try to verbalize. So this time, I'm going to let the student verbalize it for you. Let me set the scene for you. She's a corpulent little cherub sitting outside of an academic building at some university that would probably prefer not to be identified. I don't know, maybe they are proud of Scout. Yeah, Scout is her name. Listen to what she's doing in college.
Scout, I use they, them pronouns, and I'm an interdisciplinary major. My primary thematic focus is decolonizing academia and public knowledge systems, and my secondary thematic focus is biocultural and linguistic futurity. What I focus on is the promises that the institution has made and also the emergence of indigenous ways of knowing and being. I feature in a lot of stuff like language revitalization, the emergent vitality of languages.
I truly hope you understood at least some of that from Scout. I can just see some business executive down the road looking to hire new people to give new vitality to his or her business, telling a recruiter, go out and find somebody who knows something about decolonizing academia and public knowledge systems. It might help if they knew something about bicoastal and linguistic futurity. The only truth here is this little cherub will only be qualified to remain in academia, trying to pay off her student loans while she feeds this nonsense to other incoming students who have absolutely no idea in the world what life is really like. And which one of you, dear listeners, are going to end up paying her student debt? Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Military Matters.
Jason Mays with the U.S. Northern Command Counter-Unmanned Aerial System Division estimates around 8,000 drones are in U.S. airspace at any given time. But U.S. Northcom doesn't want drones over U.S. military bases.
You don't want one of these things flying through, like I said, on an airfield on an approach or departure path.
Last year, U.S. Northcom reported over 350 drone incursions at more than 100 military facilities. Some systems, like John Gruen's Interceptor drone at Fordham Technologies, uses a net packed into a shotgun shell to knock drones from the sky.
That goes out and grabs it with a net and takes it down safely and puts it wherever you need to.
Air Force General Gregory Guilloux is in charge of U.S. Northcom. His goal is to have a response team on the East Coast, West Coast, and in Alaska that can respond to drone incursions anywhere in the country within 24 hours. At Eglin Air Force Base in Florida with Military Matters, Asher Red, Fox News.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
It's not over for some families in Israel. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Obviously, Hamas is playing games and is not doing it in good faith.
Rotem Cooper's father is among the 24 dead hostages Hamas has yet to return, only handing over 4 bodies, in addition to the 20 living hostages set free yesterday.
It was very emotional, very, happy for a lot of people.
Cooper tells Fox his father Amran was killed in Hamas captivity. His mother Nurit was also taken hostage but freed in 2023. President Trump returned to the White House at about 3 a.m. after going to Israel, then attending a peace summit in Egypt.
With God's help, it'll be the new beginning for an entire beautiful Middle East.
He also talked to Fox's Trey Yingst.
President Trump told me during our interview he expects all of the bodies to return and for Hamas to disarm. He said they signed the agreement, and so they have to make good on this promise. The question is whether or not Hamas will actually follow through with what they agreed upon, lay down their weapons, and leave the Gaza Strip.
On Air Force One flying back last night, President Trump warned if legal challenges blocking his National Guard deployments to Oregon and Illinois succeed, more immigrants will rush to the border.
Because they're going to come up for health care and the other things that they give away. Look at Newsom, education, health care. He gives everything away. People come up for that.
Referencing California's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom. A lot of Americans will pay tribute today to Charlie Kirk, weeks after he was assassinated during a speech in Utah.
This would have been Charlie Kirk's 32nd birthday. President Trump announced the day after he was shot and killed last month.
I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
It's the highest civilian honor in the United States. His widow, Erica Kirk's, accepting the medal on her husband's behalf at the White House. And there are memorial events being held around the country.
That's Fox's Chris Foster. That White House ceremony, but 4 p.m. Eastern. America's listening to Fox News.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
Does your friend listen to an old station whose news gives them the blues? Set your friend right. Tell him to download the Extra 106.3 app.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3, 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. You are always welcome on this show every day, whether you agree with us or vehemently disagree with us. Come on. Everybody's
That's right.
welcome.
Give us your chipmunk name.
That's right. If you have one, and if you don't, then
you don't have to be a Theodore.
No, or
I always liked Theodore.
What about
Lovable.
Simon?
Simon was a nerd.
Did you like Alvin?
Well, yeah, everybody likes Alvin. He's the Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Alvin causes problems. Simon was the heady one.
Yeah.
And Theodore was kind of like your goofy friend.
Yeah, it was just a sweetheart. All the time, always on your side. Yeah, just a good dude. Loved chocolate.
It's
kind
of your version of Lenny.
Yeah, his little
from Mice
and Men. That's right. And Theodore had a little layer. He looked like he ate well. Mm-hmm. He was not afraid to get him a extra.
Theodore's a party guy. Theodore's a good time.
Yes.
Theodore is when he grew up.
Theodore's your buddy that no matter where you go to, he gonna get loose.
When Theodore walks in, everybody turns up.
That's right. They're like, oh, Theodore's here. You better act right. Why is this being brought up, do you ask? I'm sure you're probably thinking, why in the world would we be talking about Alvin and the Chipmunks?
I'm glad you're here to understand that Tug is now trying to talk his wife into furry fantasy with Anarchy Alvin.
What do you think?
I need you to put this costume on.
Right. Honey?
I'm celebrating peace in the Middle East with Anarchy Alvin
and furry fun. It's awful. Look.
You're just trying to understand those people that don't understand you and degrade you better.
That's right. And anything that ends with con or anybody that dresses up for any reason, I'm out. I don't want any part of it. But Los took to AI and created Anarchy Alvin. And you can see it at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. But Twitter, I think X is where it has been posted right now. It might make its way over to Instagram, Facebook. You can't ever tell.
I wrote, I need a picture of Theodore Chipmunk who is drunk and partying.
Dude, I like the one on the left. He's got that cool hat from like the 40s and a bow tie, and he looks like he's having the time of his life. And I'm telling you, man, AI just kicks it out like nobody's business.
Theodore just had that T-shirt on that just says college.
Yeah, that's right.
He's not enrolled.
Straight out of Animal House.
He's just hanging out on the couch.
By the way, I didn't know about this, and I freely admit when I'm wrong and don't know anything. Oh, okay. There's my...
He's got his shirt open.
Picture of Theodore, a little bit loaded.
Buddy, completely loaded.
I didn't know that Animal House was filmed on the campus of Oregon.
I don't think I knew that either.
During College Game Day, like they just kept going over and over and over. That was the deal. That was the movie. And then they were obviously, pointing out Hoosiers from the state of Indiana, but The only movie that they were talking about that was filmed in Bloomington was like Breaking Away, the bike movie.
Okay.
Which is no Animal House.
I was going to say, I don't even know that movie.
But Animal House.
Oh, it's classic. It's genius. It's great.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I had no idea.
Chad Powers, they filmed that at UGA. Some of the scenes of him coming into the stadium, they did that during TV timeouts and during probably halftime.
The rest of it's downtown Atlanta because it's at
Yeah.
Georgia State's stadium is what they're using as as South Georgia.
Yeah,
South Georgia Catfish.
That's exactly right. So there's. That's a little local connection if you're watching Chad Powers. Are you still watching Chad Powers?
Yeah, I've now seen all. They had a new one that dropped.
Episodes.
Yeah, on the 7th. And I think the next one is, I don't know, maybe the 17th. It's a turn your brain off for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun, the idea of a guy who's trying to hide out in plain sight.
Yeah. And he wears this crazy,
ridiculous
face. What is that? What would you
it's
call
a prosthetic.
That? Prosthetic. There we go.
He's wearing these prosthetics on his face and trying to act like he is from West Virginia.
Right. And he is unattractive. And this is, Glenn Powell. So
yes,
he's a good-looking dude.
Who's a good-looking dude to start with.
And he's got this crazy prosthetic makes him look ugly. But yeah, part of that's filmed here in town if you're into that kind of thing or looking for something to watch. Or if you need AI images of anything, look, Los is he's available for hire if you need that kind
I
of
will
stuff.
make whatever you need to have made.
And
or at least I'll try.
Yeah, do it with really, really quickly, and you'll have it for the meeting this morning if you need it.
Chad Powers episode 4 releases at midnight.
There you go.
So actually, it should be out now. Okay, I'm going to look this up.
There you go. Something to take part in.
That's my plan for the night.
There you go. Now you got plans.
Yeah, for 40 minutes.
I'm going to watch some baseball tonight, I do believe. I watched just a little bit last night. You didn't. You watched, you stayed with
I watched both the football games.
You watched
I watched the entirety of the Falcons game. Good ball game there.
Yeah.
And maybe, I'm just going to sound a little bit crazy. I think the Falcons defense might be pretty good.
Look, by what they did yesterday, I mean.
That's 14 points to Josh Allen. They were able to turn him over. That is, in my opinion, one of the best two quarterbacks in the league. Him and Patrick Mahomes are 1A, 1B right now. Lamar Jackson's great, too. Obviously, Lamar's hurt.
Incredible.
But the two guys that are playing on a regular basis.
Yeah.
14 points.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. The game that I watched was not all that impressive. That's why I didn't stick with it very long. It was Seattle beating the Blue Jays, going up 2 games to none, 10-3. So I flipped it over for a little while and I was like, all right, this is a beating. Seattle looks like the clear favorite to win this thing and move on to the well,
it's nice when you can get both of them and you haven't even been at home yet.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I'm saying. They're going home and they're just going to blow it up there. I bet. I mean, Toronto may take one, but doubtful.
The one bummer is that because obviously you have some great players in that series between Vladimir Guerrero Jr.,
Freaking Cal
Raleigh, who's just a dump truck of a man. You have two of the most fantastic young guys in all of Major League Baseball, and yet I believe no one will watch it because it's Toronto and Seattle.
And it's way out on the West Coast, and it's going to be on crazy late. Yeah. That's what
I mean.
Baseball
right now
needs to do something different with their scheduling.
Baseball right now is hoping, like they're just crossing their fingers, that they don't get Milwaukee and Seattle. It's like they need the Dodgers in that series.
Yeah.
They need the defending champions in that series to drive any sort of viewership.
Yeah, well, that and the new come up team.
Yeah,
being the Mariners. That'd be a great World Series if you ask me. I would be watching it. Now it'd be crazy because it'd be on the West Coast. They would have to figure out something to get the East Coast.
You'll get a ton of 5 o'clock local starts.
Yeah, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you'll see the whole where it's like, oh, why is it daylight? Like they started at 5:05.
Exactly. They got to do something because they need the viewers for sure. Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Xtra and Xtra 106.3. Yesterday, a historic day for Donald Trump, a historic day for the world. Donald Trump had the dignitaries waiting because he spent time with the families and the hostages. And, that became a news story because he was dialed into those folks who had been through so much. And he said, those dignitaries can wait, man. They'll be fine. Have them wait an extra hour. I don't care. I'm going to spend time with the people who are in a scenario that no one wants to be in, that no one could ever dream or imagine that they would find themselves in. And then when he did catch up with those dignitaries, they had a lot of really, really nice things to say about him, like the president of Pakistan, if you're President Obama. Pakistan. But he gave incredible praise to Donald Trump for the situation that he stepped in and improving the relationship between India and Pakistan. He hit that one specifically. But there's so many others, and we'll play it. But, I mean, think about it. Thailand and Cambodia, Israel, Iran, Rwanda, Congo, Serbia, Kosovo, Egypt, Ethiopia, Armenia, and I can't say it again.
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan, yes.
You're doing great, buddy.
I'm doing the best I can.
You just always look at me like,
just say it.
It's just you do it.
Just say it.
You do it.
I need you to say that word. But here is the president of Pakistan with a lot of praise for Trump over this stuff.
I used to say, had it not been for this gentleman, not only, who knows, India and Pakistan are both nuclear powers. Had he not intervened along with his wonderful team, during those 4 days, the war could have escalated to a level. Who would have lived to tell what happened? And similarly, here in this part of the world, in Middle East, Mr. President, your valuable contribution along with President Sisi, I think history will remember in golden words. I wouldn't say more, except God bless you, God give you long life to serve like this for all time to come. Thank you very much.
Jeez, man. I mean, that's high praise from the president of Pakistan. And interesting.
May God bless you with long life and continue to serve like this.
That's unreal that it's not unreal. I guess it's not real. Knowing what people say about him here and the things that, because he said, this gentleman, he didn't say Nazi, he didn't say dictator. He said this gentleman.
I know what happened in the previous 4 years. I know that we had a president who tried to take my job away. I know that we had a president who tried to enforce mandates. I know we had a president who was big, his White House was big on censorship. Everything's gravy now. Like, you should enjoy this. And I think the world has had this collective deep sigh of relief of the reason why they paint him in this way is because he is so damn effective.
Yeah.
And it's working.
And it's recognized around the world because most world powers recognize strength and nothing else.
And the globalist movement, the globalist socialist communist movement, it really breeds itself off of chaos. And what is he doing? He's bringing order to so much of the world. Peace and order, to have markets, to have free enterprise, to have free markets. This is the danger that he always is the reason why he got shot at in Butler, Pennsylvania.
And they hit him.
Because this is what he was going to be able to do. And this time around, it's significantly different than Trump 1.0. This guy has a different focus, a different leadership group around him, and they get stuff done. That's it. They just get stuff done.
It's funny you say that. How to deal with terrorists. There's a great meme, and it's Obama on the phone saying, let's negotiate, and the terrorist says, I will blow S up. Joe Biden on the phone saying, let's negotiate. The terrorist, I will blow S up. Donald Trump on the phone saying, I will blow S up. The terrorist says, let's negotiate.
Yes.
And that's dude, you couldn't have captured it more correctly than that.
And if I may, I'll get off on a tangent here. You know the damage that Donald Trump is doing to the left because Barack Obama won't go away. Every other president has had the dignity to go away. In fact, in my opinion, you'll never see George W. Bush on a campaign trail for anyone, ever. You didn't see Ronald Reagan either. It took until Bill Clinton got to damn near 80 for them to be like, all right, get him out on the trail.
Come on.
Let's have you get on out there. And what did he proceed to do? Stick his foot in his mouth.
Yes.
Over in South Georgia.
Yeah, completely.
It's like, that's what it is. Barack Obama, his legacy is right tied in with Joe Biden. They are a couple of losers. They are. And what they created was instability in the world and instability within this country.
That we're paying for now.
Run from it.
Yeah.
And when somebody tells you about, oh, they were so good. No, they weren't. They were losers. I swear I was thinking about this the other day, and I think it's the fun way of doing this. If you choose to say, I was wrong about everything MAGA, and by the way, Tug and I aren't MAGA. Like, we don't have the hats. We don't have anything. It's just like, here's what it is. But if you choose to say that you're wrong about this movement, you're wrong about Donald Trump, and you've decided to come slip, and I'm not saying you have to jump in with sparklers. I'm just saying that if you happen to slide into the tent,
take notice.
You'll be so much happier, in part because you will be a winner. All this dude is doing is winning.
And racking
all over the world.
And Obama hates it so much that he's on every podcast. He is on social media.
He won't go away.
But even on top of the fact that he didn't leave D.C., now with Donald Trump being so successful, I've seen him more now in the last few months than I've seen him with any regularity.
If you want to talk about taking Barack Obama and making him look 2 inches tall, that's part of what yesterday did. Donald Trump right now is the giant on the world stage.
And to see the president of Pakistan heaping on that praise, it had to burn him up because he is and Scott Jennings said it the other day, and I saw him, he was like, he's the most hyper political president we've ever had. And that's exactly right. Dude is nothing but hyper politics. And Donald Trump, I don't know that he is. And you can say, well, you support Trump, so you wouldn't say that. Give me something that he's hyper political about. I don't know. I don't know a thing that he's hyper political about. He wants to make sure there's peace around the world. He's been hyper focused on that, but there's not a lot of politics that go into that. That is, I'm going to make a difference in the world. And Barack Obama, the exact opposite. He was not good for America. Donald Trump, for all those people that hate him, Donald Trump is.
It's been good for the world. It's been good for this country, which makes it begs the question, if this is so easy to do because he did it in 8 months, why didn't his predecessors do it? Because they didn't want to. They had no interest in it. You had to so many of these deals are from a place of strength, from American strength. The problem is that you have to start with a love of country in order to work from a place of strength. If you love your country, you tend to want it to be strong, and that's how you portray it in the rest of the world. You had a run with Joe Biden for the 4 years, and Barack Obama, where the very first place was American weakness. So you couldn't get these sort of things done.
Funny,
and no love of country.
If you recall, Bruce Pearl was on a podcast about a week ago, and he said, don't tell me this country's not great. He said, I wanted my players to look up to Barack Obama and the fact that you can do anything, you can be anything. And he said, the problem was I felt Obama was never grateful to the nation that put him there, that gave him the opportunities. And that is so correct. He despised this country, even though this country put him up for a little while. Los, they put him up. We put him up, the country. And I didn't vote for him, but I'm part of the country. We put him on a pedestal that he never deserved, and he certainly never appreciated.
There's a lot of hype. It's what it was. And it was a different time period. You're talking now almost 20 years ago, where we did not, as much as we were in the information age, we were in the early part of the information age. Yep. As much as we might say, hey, 2008, we still were not there yet, where all the data, anything you want that happens within 5 minutes in this world is accessible. We were still in an era where you had to go to a website before you would go, oh, I believe that story.
Yeah.
So much of what had gone on with who Barack Obama was largely torpedoed. You didn't know about him until well into his first term, and by the time you got around to his second term, you were like, oh, why is he popular yet his policies aren't? Because they made it a point. Well, he's not his policies.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, the first politician I've ever met or ever read where we're separated from his policies.
Yeah. It's insanity, it is. 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert. 770-GET-HEAT, When we come back, you are on the right side of history. But it wasn't easy to get here. Next on the Morning Extra.
celebrating the life and legacy of Charlie Kirk on his birthday on Extra 106.3.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
Atlanta's Mark from the Safe House. We have exciting news. We are moving to a new location to serve you better. And as you can imagine, we would rather sell our inventory than move it. So drop by our Ackworth location and save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on all in-stock safes. Brands like Champion, Browning, Fort Knox, and many others. We also offer professional delivery and installation. And the really exciting part is our new location in Alpharetta will offer an even better selection to suit your safe needs. So go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com. That's AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Hey there, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, Cobb's premier lifestyle magazine, where you'll find familiar faces, local voices, and community businesses like St. Benedict's Episcopal School.
I'm Father Brian Sullivan, head of school at St. B's in Smyrna. We welcome students preschool through 8th grade into a diverse and inclusive community. With small classes and personalized learning, we focus on the whole child academically, socially, and emotionally. Beyond the classroom, our students thrive in arts, clubs, mini athletics, and community service. We're proud to offer Spanish as a core curriculum, and we are a STEM certified school, preparing graduates for success in high school and beyond. Applications are now open. Learn more at stbs.org.
Thanks, Father Brian. Friends, check out this community treasure. And remember, our town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
This is Bruce Hagan. The law in Georgia has changed, and if you have been injured in a car crash, it's going to be harder than ever to get insurance companies to treat you fairly. What you need is a real lawyer on your side, not some phony TV or billboard lawyer who doesn't even know how to get to the courthouse. I've been a Georgia super lawyer for 20 straight years, and we try cases and we win. We get results for our clients. Call me, get in touch, hagan-law.com. We are real lawyers who will win your personal injury case.
The future of business in Georgia is bright, and Georgia Power is a driving force behind the businesses and organizations that are vital to the growth of the state. Just ask Brandon Hutchison, Executive Vice President and General Manager of Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Make no mistake about it, we're big customers of Georgia Power. It really is a true partnership. We've ran NASCAR's highest level of racing. In the early days of Atlanta Motor Speedway, Atlanta International Raceway, as it were, they raced twice a year, and that was about it. Right. And then we started figuring out that this is an 850-acre campus that can do so much more. And it's not just the larger events that impact the region. It's the local events that really impact our community. It's a big responsibility for us to be such a big player in our community. And there's no doubt that Georgia Power has fan experience front of mind all the time.
To learn more about how Georgia Power is helping businesses big and small, visit georgiapower.com and tune in all year to discover how they're powering the future of Georgia. The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Tuesday, October 14th. Early voting begins today at 6 locations in Cobb County for mayoral candidates and city council seats. Voters have until October 31st to cast their vote if they want to do so before the election day in November 4th. 2 seats on the Georgia Public Service Commission in Districts 2 and 3 are also on the ticket. Cobb County commissioners have postponed a vote on the appointment of James Farrell as the new police chief. Farrell has been serving as interim chief since April when Stuart Van Hooser retired. The delay was requested by Chairwoman Lisa Cupid. She's seeking to address issues related to the search and selection process for a new chief. The commission will now vote on October 28th. And Atlanta's Fox Theater has been named Theater of the Year from the International Entertainment Buyers Association. Fox Theater president and CEO Alan Vela says the venue has welcomed over 600,000 guests in the past year and generated more than $50 million in ticket sales. The Fox brings back ghost tours of the historic building this month. Today's weather clear and sunny with highs in the lower 80s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra and Extra 106.3.
Listen, I'm just into data, man.
I know, right? Well, but because data gives you a clearer picture than somebody's opinion.
Right. Beyond just, let's say, one piece of information. Let's say when you get to 5 pieces of information, I have a better idea. And so our friend from down the hall, Andy Roth, stopped by. He's a program director with the Fan. And he was like, I got a friend of mine. He says that the Falcons aren't a playoff team. I'm like, well, they're number 1 in defense, and they're number 2 in offense as well.
Seems like a pretty good spot to be.
And I said, so is he like a fan? He's like, no, he's just a media member who covers the team. I go, well, then he's not good at it. I don't think he was really expecting that one.
Yeah, it was a pretty funny thing to hear.
I mean, I'll flat out tell you, as a Cowboy fan, they're number 1 in total offense. They have the best offense in the league. They also have the worst defense in the league. They're going to win like 8 games, maybe 9.
Yeah.
The Falcons right now are number 1 in defense and number 2 in total offense. If they stay on this track, they're going to go to the playoffs.
Seems mighty likely, unless something crazy happens and goes off the rails, which doesn't seem like it.
And see, that's what data can't tell you.
Yeah. What?
I've watched the Falcons my whole life.
Yeah.
I know how this goes. They reel you in early in the season.
I know.
They're actually sacking quarterbacks. They're turning people over. And again, 14 points to Josh Allen last night. That's nuts. Like, it's hard in this league to only score 14 points.
So let me ask this. Is it an emotional reaction to have the reaction that Jerry did? Or...
No, he's been hurt before. I get it.
Yeah,
no, it's just justified.
Yeah,
completely.
Right. Okay, all right. Let's make sure, because I agree. I'm like, I've been there before, too.
Man, I've seen this game.
Yeah.
By the way, there are 2 teams in the league that aren't averaging 14 points a game. Titans and the Browns. Everybody else is over 14 points per game. So, as I said, if you're only scoring 14...
Yeah. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to win it. We'll talk about it. Even if you want to talk Falcons, look, we'll get into a little bit of that, too, if you'd like. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across
I talk about whatever Tug tells me to.
That's right. And you know me, man, I'm authoritarian. I rule with an iron fist.
Yes, sir.
You know, that's you know how
he puts his hand up to me, and I'm like, no, Tug.
That's right. I've heard some BS, but it's getting deep. It's getting deep in here.
It's been a whole lot of sharing today.
No question. No doubt about it.
I told Andy that his friend was dumb.
And he agreed. So
I was like, well, apparently your friend is bad at covering the NFL.
He was like, yeah, sounds like it.
You know what he's looking at?
He's been paying attention at all? How long has he been doing this?
They basically held RoboCop to 14 points.
That's right, man. Yeah, so if you're a Falcons fan, you got to feel good.
Would you put down, I wonder what the future is for a Falcons playoff berth. You want to go in half on that with me?
Listen, I think they're a playoff team. Whether they win the division, I don't think that they're going to win the division. I think that they'll be competitive with Tampa, but I think most certainly in an expanded playoff in the NFC, they're a playoff team. The numbers all look at and say that's a playoff team, and they might have the best running back in the entire league.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
I can't disagree with that. Bijan is
as great as Saquon was last year, when you give somebody that many carries, you tend to have a trail off the next year. Man, Bijan Robinson is a whole other level right now.
Just a beast. Yeah, man, good for Falcons fans if you love the Falcons. And look, it's fun when the Falcons are good in this town. Any of the teams. The Braves,
we got Georgia Tech good, Georgia's good, the Falcons are good right now. Things are good.
Braves had a bit of a drop-off, but they've had such a run. And next
I don't even know who you're talking about. I won't even know about it until February.
Yeah, that's right, Ken.
Oh,
I'm just talking about how the city comes alive when the teams do well. Even remember that? I mean, it's been a long time, but the Hawks, remember they had that, 60-game winning season? And they were off the charts, and the city was just over the moon about the Hawks. So if you're willing to get out there and play ball, this town will rally behind you like nobody's business.
I'm like, don't believe me. Believe John Gruden, who pointed out, let's take an in-depth look at the Falcons' defense. Who the hell are these guys? I call them the blank squad, and they're freaking badass.
The blank squad, you don't know a single name.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah, and then playing good football. Well, I know it's fun for Falcons fans for sure, because it's probably been a minute since you felt this way. And who knows? Man, you get to get down to the end of the year, get down to the playoffs. But let's not rush the season. That's the only thing.
Enjoy the ride.
Enjoy
always
the stinking ride. And that's the message, if there is one this morning. Scott Adams is a guy that he has cancer, and it's terminal, and he's talked about it. He's been very open about it. But he is not afraid to speak his mind, and will and has, and especially about Donald Trump.
So this is going to be a longer audio clip. So just be ready for it. Scott Adams, off of the announcement of the peace deal in the Middle East. Remember, this is a guy who didn't think he was going to live through the summer. In fact, when he made his cancer announcement, he was like,
"Yeah,
this summer.
It's limited."
Yeah, he's like, "I'll be gone by the summer." He's into October, so he has gone beyond even the expectations he set for himself, and so. I think there's something that's beautiful about the clarity that people have when you're not caught up in the minutia. When you know you're at the end and now it's just about stuff that matters. It's just what matters to you. And so this is what Scott Adams had to say yesterday when he did his podcast and talked about the peace deal.
Here's what I feel, and I hope that the rest of you feel it too. As I posted on X, cryptically, but I only wanted the people who understood to understand it. I don't want everybody to understand it. And my post on X was just this. This is why. That's it. This is why. What I mean, of course, for the few of you who don't know exactly what that means, is that in 2016, when I decided I didn't know I was doing it at the time, but quickly I figured it out. When I decided I would throw away my entire social life to back Trump, and when I eventually threw away my entire career, which even before I was canceled, my licensing business and book sales went to almost nothing because I was supporting Trump. I sacrificed everything. I sacrificed my social life. I sacrificed my career. I sacrificed my reputation. I may have sacrificed my health. And I did that because I believed it was worth it. Today's the day. Today's the day. Whew. I'm really happy I lived long enough to see it. It was worth it. It was worth it. Not just for this, but it was worth it. It was worth it to be right. It's worth it to be right. As you know, Trump doesn't become president without 100 things going the right way. I like to think I might have been one of the 100 things that went the right way so that he could get elected and we could get something done. Save the country, maybe save the world. But it wasn't free. It wasn't cheap. It wasn't easy. But every one of you who's watching right now probably shared a little bit in that pain. Probably every one of you said, you know what? You're not going to tell me who to vote for. You know what? You're not going to manipulate me. You know what? I'm going to do what I think is right, and I'm going to follow this all the way. You all did that. All the MAGA supporters, you all took a personal and professional risk for the benefit of the country, and you knew that it was going to cost you dearly. You lost family members, lost your daughter, somebody says, yeah. A lot of you lost family members. You lost friends, you lost jobs. It cost you money. And you were right. In the end, you were right. You bet the right way.
That's 3 minutes from a dying man. That's a victory lap. That's pointing out when you were scolded as a fascist, when they told you all the crazy stuff, when the left went after you in the way that they did, when they tried to take your job, when they tried to go after you for supporting somebody. Yesterday was part of your big victory lap, just like it was for Scott Adams.
This is why.
You were right.
Very subtle, such a simple statement, and 3 little words that mean so much to so many people around the world, not just in the United States. You saw the way people responded to Donald Trump when everything was coming down and they had painted the beaches in Tel Aviv and they had put it on the cover of the Jerusalem Post. And you had people from the president of Pakistan. You had the president of Egypt. You had the princes from all the Gulf countries that said, "We're on your side." Everybody has fallen away. I mean, the entirety of the mainstream media, the entirety of the Democrat Party, the entirety of the leftist movement in America has called him every name in the book for 10 years. They got him shot at. They've tried to take everything from him, and they all failed. And the world, not just the silly leftists, the world said, "We're on your side."
This is what feels so different about this for me, Tug. I feel like when you turn on cable news and it's the next joker who's saying whatever he says about this administration and Donald Trump, I feel like the more they do it, the smaller they come across.
Oh, yes.
Because of where he is and for everyone who was like, he's going to start World War III. The man is an icon of peace around the world right now. Like, he's reached a level that I didn't think that he could get to.
I don't think anybody did.
He has reached the point where his view, like how the rest of the world treats him, is on this iconic level, not because of war, not because of tariffs, not because of ruling with an iron fist, but because he's bringing peace to different areas around the world. It doesn't matter if you're African, doesn't matter if you're Asian, doesn't matter if you're right there in the middle of the Middle East. It's like, peace everywhere is good. That's what he's doing.
How could he have reached this level with the things that were against him? How could you reach that point?
But that's why the narrative now sounds so small. It's like, I can't wait for the next person to do like when Jimmy Kimmel goes on to his show to knock Trump again. Do you realize how minuscule that's going to sound and feel?
You're a tiny person.
Tiny little ant. You don't matter. And you're Jimmy Kimmel, and you don't matter.
Nobody cares.
And it's the same thing for anyone over at CNN or anyone over at MSNBC to ignore what's right in your face and to ignore the historic nature of what is going on makes you look like the little person.
And they are.
And you are.
And you are.
So it's like, let's see who the next one is. It's like, you come across as being so little.
Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries. That's the crazy part, is that those little people, I mean, they have a little bit of power, just among their own crazies. That's about the only power they have. But those are the people that are going, which is so disappointing to me. You didn't have, even though people were going at W after 9/11, there was that moment of, you know what? We got to put this aside. There's something bigger.
Yes, coming off of the closest election in the history of this country, everything went by the wayside. As divided as we were, it was put it all aside.
We can pick this up later. This is bigger.
I will tell you that the enjoyable part that's happened in the last 24, 36 hours is to watch the same sort of unity on our end. And if anything, the Democrats have they got the stand down order. We can't win on this one. Don't even try.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. The man accomplished a huge peace deal in the middle of a government shutdown. It has taken the government shutdown and put it on the back burner.
Nobody's even mentioned it, really.
Doesn't
it's not
matter.
Even being talked about.
Because what it shows you is the ineptitude of government, that this man is still out there doing the job, yet the rest of the government is not available.
Is sitting on their hands, which they would be if it were open too.
Like, how little does Chuck Schumer look right now?
How little does the Democrats look right now? How little does anybody that ran down Donald Trump for no reason whatsoever?
I'm just shocked that this is where it is.
Yeah. How can you not be?
I was surprised when he built himself back up into a viable candidate. Yeah. I didn't think that was ever going to happen. I thought that was going to be the end of it. The prosecutions are what brought his movement and him back to life. And now here we are.
It's unreal, man. A member of The View sporting a red Make America Great Again hat. Next on Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, October 14th. The Atlanta Falcons are now 3-2 on the season after beating the Buffalo Bills at home 24-14. The final. Quarterback Michael Penix Jr. threw for 250 yards. Running back Bijan Robinson runs for 170 on the ground. The Chicago Bears, they beat the Washington Commanders 25-24 after a last-second field goal. For Major League Baseball, the Mariners are headed back to Seattle up 2-0 after a 10-3 victory over the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Los Angeles Dodgers are up 1-0 after beating the Milwaukee Brewers last night in LA 2-1. The final. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
I've been told this, and I bet you've been told this before too. It kind of flashes me back to when I was a kid, standing in the gas station aisle. Mom and Daddy, filling the car up, and they're like, go in and get you a candy bar or something. And I go in there, and I can't figure it out, man. I'm debating back and forth between the Snickers and the Reese's Cup or something. Maybe it's the M&Ms. And parents are like, we're done pumping gas. Choose one. Let's go. We got to go. And I was forced to do it, and I would, but I always wanted a little bit of both. I ain't gonna lie. I like a variety. Well, at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, you don't have to choose. $2,100 in rebates and 60 months, 0% financing with approved credit. You don't have to choose. You don't have to flash back to when you were a child and those horrible memories of having to choose your favorite candy bar. You can have both with Central and have that comfort in your home that your family deserves, that you've worked so hard to provide for them. So, up to $2,100 in rebates, 60 months, 0% financing. That's right, at Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Now, here's another choice. You have to choose how to get a hold of them. You can call 770-GET-HEAT, or you can go to centralheat.com.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, Trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com.
Fox rocks.
I'm Monica DeLuca. Taylor Swift claims the top 12 spots on the latest Billboard Hot 100, all from her new album, The Life of a Showgirl. The top song is The Fate of Ophelia, scoring Swift her 13th career Hot 100 #1 song, tying for the 4th most ever. This also brings her total of top 10 songs to 69, which is the most among female artists. Niall Horan may be busy coaching a new season of The Voice, but he also has some new music coming out. Announcing in a joint Instagram post with Thomas Rhett, their new collab version of Rhett's song called Old Tricks is coming out Friday. The original Old Tricks appeared on the 2025 deluxe edition of Rhett's About a Woman album and featured Blake Shelton. That's Fox Rocks on Fox News.
Securing America.
Secretary of the Army Dan Driscoll spoke at the Association of the U.S. Army meeting in Washington Monday, where he said the military is at a critical point as technology is rapidly changing the world we live in.
Our adversaries are harnessing it to change the very nature of warfare. We must change or become obsolete.
He says the problem is that the American military has not kept pace. Driscoll cited this real-life example experienced by troops.
You struggle to communicate beyond line of sight, and you wonder why the hell you just can't use the smartphone in your pocket.
The secretary promised to change the process.
We will break down barriers until we measure acquisitions, not in years and billions, but in months and thousands.
Adding, the bottom line is,
this is an issue that is undermining our national security.
Kevin Muretsky, Fox News.
Today, we reflect on the life of Charlie Kirk on what would have been his 32nd birthday. Gone far too young, Charlie represented an unabashed pride in the American way of life, unafraid to speak out, and contributed so much to the conservative movement. His legacy lives on in the voices of conservatives across the nation and right here in Atlanta, on your only home for conservative news and talk. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra. Glad that you're here. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. Today, Charlie Kirk will get the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest civilian honor that can be awarded. That'll happen at some point at the White House. I was trying to look for the schedule to see if I could find it. I've yet to see it.
So the last one that I recall was during the State of the Union address when it was given to Rush Limbaugh. So now you follow up with Charlie Kirk. I don't know who else that Donald Trump has given this award to. I got to look into this.
Yeah.
Because it is, again, a civilian award. It's the highest civilian award you can get this country.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. So, and well-deserved. That's the thing. You had the crazy naysayers and the people that were so ugly after his murder. It shows you where their heart is. Shows you where their soul is, unfortunately. And so we wish the best for Charlie and his family, and God rest his soul, and that his voice carries on. And we would like to carry on that mission that he had here at Extra 106.3. So much like he would ask you to tell people about Turning Point, we'll ask you to tell people about Extra. Share it with folks that might enjoy it.
Oh, you know who else got the Presidential Medal of Freedom?
Who's that?
Toby Keith.
That a boy?
Toby Keith got it for arts, entertainment, country musician,
how do you
patriotic
like
songwriter, and performer.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods got it.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that.
Jerry West got it.
Okay.
Elvis Presley, Babe Ruth. Okay. Roger Staubach. All right, so like 2018, 2019 was when he was handing it out.
But he's giving them out. All right. But look, everybody that got them.
John Voight, the last several were John Voight, Rush Limbaugh, Jim Jordan, and Devin Nunes.
All right. Well, then there you
And
go.
Gary Sinise got it too.
And well-deserved. The Lieutenant Dan Band does incredible work. They raised a lot of money for veterans and veterans' families. I saw recently where he took veterans' families, like 1,000 different kids, to Disneyland out in California and covered it all for them. So, yeah, a guy like that deserves it.
And so as of now, Charlie Kirk, and then the next one that is on the list of, and the announcement is in the ceremony pending, as of now, is Rudy Giuliani.
Okay.
For his public service, former New York mayor, America's mayor post 9/11, and Trump advisor.
Was incredible. I don't know. There's many people that could have led the city of New York quite like the way that Mayor Giuliani did.
It was a steadying hand. It made everybody feel good.
Yeah, for sure.
It was certainly different than when we had again, the time period frustrates me. But to see the mayor's office is giving updates on COVID. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you mean your updates in tyranny?
Yes,
all right, this is great. And you got an Emmy for those?
Yes, of course. Yeah, people did. They got and they not only that, but they got Pulitzers. I mean, there's all kinds of awards given out for the journalism during
the time period.
During the time period, yes, exactly, which is embarrassing to look back at. And it tells you how much really that a Pulitzer's worth. If that's who they give it to and the reason they give it.
I can still go back to the article that was written about Alex Berenson. It's like, the pandemic's wrongest man. I'm like, go back and read that thing, and you'll be like, wow, he's right about all of this.
He was the pandemic's rightest man. It's great. It'll be interesting to see, and I assume, Los, that this will happen today. The View co-host, Alyssa Farah Griffin, if I can speak. I really am going to be surprised when she rocks the red MAGA hat. I can't wait to see it.
This is going back to last January. We're just maybe like 2 weeks away from a Trump administration. And so the View is in the lamenting mode, but they're also in the prediction mode. They're already setting up the obstacles by which you should judge the incoming Trump administration. And one of them is, well, I mean, Joe Biden, they're still hostages. Now, there's some credit here, but at the same time, let's be realistic. Hamas gave you the prisoners that they wanted to give you early on, the women and children. There's a reason why that by the time we got down to these last 20, they were all men, basically. It was, we're holding on to the people we need to hold on to that can take this captivity, and they'll be our human shields until we can negotiate a peace settlement. So here is Alyssa Farah, and she makes a statement in order to get those last people, out from Gaza. This is what she'll do.
My point when I say I'm not going to be apocalyptic, it's not changing a tune. It's not making every single thing a 5-alarm fire. Yeah. If he does good, if he gets the Israeli hostages out, I promise I will wear a MAGA hat for one day on the show and say, thank you for doing it. Yeah. And then she'll knock it right off my head.
Yeah.
Well, put it on, baby girl.
Waiting on you. That's what I said. I can't wait to see it. I reckon it's today. Wouldn't it be, since everybody was released yesterday?
I'm glad that video went viral again and got all around. So it's just a little reminder, hey, you're the one who made the point. You're the one who said this is what you were going to do.
Yeah. Ain't nobody make you.
So let's see it.
Yeah. And then, at the end, she says, somebody will knock it off my head. Yeah, that's probably right, because that's the type of people that you're around. That says everything you need to know about them.
Are you going to turn into grape jelly? Are we going to Welch here?
Yeah.
Like, listen, I've dealt with a lot of Welches around here.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing out that if you say something on national TV and this is your big make or break comment, Donald Trump can't get them out of there. No. I mean, look what he's doing. I'll wear a MAGA hat. All right. Well, it's time to wear the MAGA hat. Like, I don't even have anything like this.
I don't either.
It's just.
But look, if I
have to do it, you have to do it.
But if I said I would go buy one and I would wear it the next day. What is the likelihood of that happening? I would put, I don't know, good 20 spot on her not doing it.
And who will it trigger?
Yeah, that's exactly. Well,
I'm so mad. I'm like, well,
it'll trigger
you did say this is what you were going to do if this happened. Now, this once again should not be a situation where people are upset. Their silence speaks everything.
Yeah, it tells you everything.
They're actually mad that something great for the world has occurred because it's in the plus column of Donald Trump.
When we tell you that they are going to cheer against anything good for America because it will benefit Donald Trump, this is an example of it, but even bigger than America. This is a worldwide phenomenon. This is a worldwide event that has changed everyone that has been involved and everyone who's touched it. And they sit on their hands and they will not say, thank you, Mr. President. Say, man, if Joe Biden would have been in this situation, I'd be like, that's a good day for Joe Biden.
Good job.
It's a good day to be an American. Proud of our leadership for handling this. Now, he never had the capability of doing it, so that we weren't at a risk.
What do you mean, Jack?
Yeah, but I always, there was never one point in this show that we ever cheered against Joe Biden being successful.
You don't wish failure on an American president.
Ever, because it affects our country.
About the only time where any of this ever occurred, and he was right, it was Rush Limbaugh who pointed out during Barack Obama, I hope he fails. Everyone's like, well, you can't say that about an American president. He's like, I know what he intends to do.
Yeah. And
I hope he fails at it.
And he was right.
He was right.
Dead on. Accurate.
By the way, The View is on at 11. First off, I didn't know what time The View is on.
I mean, understandable. So, I could have texted Aunt Peg.
Well, good.
She would have told me.
It might as well be called Wake Up Atlanta for Aunt Peg.
I know.
Wake up about 10:15, roll out of bed, watch The View.
Not a chance that, look, all Alyssa Farah Griffin has to do is actually have that hat on, and Aunt Peg will not watch. They will lose viewership by her wearing it. That's why I feel certain I could throw a 20 spot down and not lose that bet that she won't do it.
Let's see what she'll do.
Maybe I'll be wrong. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Final hour ahead of us. 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air. Your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. Anything Trump wants to get done, he now has the political capital to do it. This is the Morning Extra. Tug and Los until 10.
For the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Xtra 106.3.
Well, off we go into the wonderful world of academia yet again. I used to feature the thesis summaries for graduate students. Some of them were too ridiculous to even try to verbalize. So this time, I'm going to let the student verbalize it for you. Let me set the scene for you. She's a corpulent little cherub sitting outside of an academic building at some university that would probably prefer not to be identified. I don't know, maybe they are proud of Scout. Yeah, Scout is her name. Listen to what she's doing in college.
Scout, I use they, them pronouns, and I'm an interdisciplinary major. My primary thematic focus is decolonizing academia and public knowledge systems, and my secondary thematic focus is biocultural and linguistic futurity. What I focus on is the promises that the institution has made and also the emergence of indigenous ways of knowing and being. I feature in a lot of stuff like language revitalization, the emergent vitality of languages.
I truly hope you understood at least some of that from Scout. I can just see some business executive down the road looking to hire new people to give new vitality to his or her business, telling a recruiter, go out and find somebody who knows something about decolonizing academia and public knowledge systems. It might help if they knew something about bicoastal and linguistic futurity. The only truth here is this little cherub will only be qualified to remain in academia, trying to pay off her student loans while she feeds this nonsense to other incoming students who have absolutely no idea in the world what life is really like. And which one of you, dear listeners, are going to end up paying her student debt? Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Fox on Film.
I'm Kathleen Maloney. Tron Ares wins the war of the box office, pulling in $33.5 million in its opening weekend.
Since time began, man has gazed at the stars and he has wondered, am I alone?
The Disney film falling short of expectations, though, arriving 15 years after Tron Legacy opened to $44 million in ticket sales. Roofman, starring Channing Tatum and Kirsten Dunst, opens in second place with $8 million.
We all like going back in time and imagining how things could have gone differently. Like, what if I made different choices?
One battle after another, holding steady in third place with $6.6 million. Kathleen Maloney, Fox News.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
What's next after the ceasefire? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Will there be a Palestinian state like many countries plan to recognize?
I'm not talking about single state or double state or two state. We're talking about the rebuilding of Gaza.
That was President Trump on Air Force One before he returned to the White House at about 3 a.m. from his trip to Israel and Egypt to celebrate the release of the last 20 living hostages.
We do expect to get more updates on their health conditions today from local hospitals.
But what about the remains of the 24 hostages not returned yet? Hamas has only handed over 4 bodies so far. Fox's Trey Yingst also reports from Tel Aviv.
This is a grim reality of the horrific October 7th massacre that Hamas may not even know where some of the bodies are. And so we do understand as part of this agreement that was signed signed overnight in Egypt, there is an international coalition of teams, not only from Qatar, from Israel, and from other regional countries like Egypt, but many others, to try and build together intelligence information and then possibly even send teams into Gaza to look for where these bodies are located. And so this could be a very long process.
Today would have been Charlie Kirk's 32nd birthday, and just over a month after the conservative activist was assassinated, there will be remembrances across the country, and President Trump will award Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor. For a 14th day, much of the government is shut down. The Senate plans another funding vote trying to end a stalemate.
Most federal workers are not getting paid while the government shutdown continues, but Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says her department has found an innovative way to pay Coast Guard service members. DHS, which oversees the Coast Guard, has not explained where the funding would come from. The White House Office of Management and Budget says it plans to use research and development funds to pay military service members.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. A woman's been found dead in western Alaska after the remnants of a typhoon rained down and caused flooding. 51 other people needed to be rescued in a few villages. America's listening to Fox News.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
Hey, it's your old pal Neil Bortz. I'm back on Atlanta's only conservative news talk station, Extra 106.3. Okay, here's more of the Morning Extra.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra. If you missed Neil Bortz this morning, he is available for you there on the Extra 106.3 app.
We learned something new about him.
We did.
He's into Star Wars.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
Now, he did say he was Han Solo.
Yeah, I thought that was a little odd. I wasn't going to call him on that.
Let's do Han. So that's okay.
Yeah.
But he did. I gave him a Yoda quote.
And I think I put an S on the end, like my mama would put an S on the end of Walmart's.
Yeah, well, apparently, listen, my parents both think I'm from Cummings, Georgia.
My mama thinks you're from Cummings, Georgia.
Oh.
So what she says,
we're going to Cummings?
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Han Solo, yes. So but I'm not a Star Wars guy, so I mean, if I get it wrong, so I don't know if it's that big a deal.
Whereas Neil, I gave him a Yoda quote, and he was like, immediately. Like he was ready.
And he started referencing a book. The reason he likes Yoda so much is because he read this book, The Silva Mind Control Method, and he is able to manipulate his mind and was able to pass the Georgia bar. At the time, was very, very rare that people did that. You know, it was a really, really tough test, and he was able to do it. And he gives credit to this Silva mind control method. Jose Silva is the author of the book. He told us to go check it out, and I'm going to. I'm going to go get it and see if I can't read this thing. See if I can't get mind control.
You're going to start levitating and moving items with your mind?
Whatever I need to do.
Okay, what if you actually told him next Tuesday, Neil, I bought that book, and I've been moving stuff with my mind.
I mean, can of beer sitting across the room.
I moved it.
I had it float right over to me.
With my thoughts.
That's right.
Do you think that he would entertain such things, or do you think he'd be like, why are you messing with me?
Nah, I think he'd be like, why are you messing with me? I mean, we'll try it. I'd be glad to try it, but I won't make it that.
I'll be like, Neil, I want you to look at your salt shaker right now.
Turn it upside down.
Let me see if I can make that thing jiggle a little bit.
Can you salt your oatmeal? You put some pepper on your oatmeal without touching it?
Look what I'm doing. Look, take a look at that salt shaker.
Yeah, that's right. Thing's wiggling. Shaking it like a Polaroid picture. No, maybe that's what I'm saying. I won't make it something so extraordinary. I'll just be like, Neil, I was looking at this piece of paper and I asked it to come to me and it did. It's like my show sheet.
I was asking it for it to come to me and it did.
Like a dog almost. But it was a piece of paper. I think he will probably mail me a pipe bomb
next Tuesday.
Yeah, mail me something.
And I did enjoy that we were able to call him. And again, you can go back on the app.
Yeah.
About 7:25. Puma Borts.
That's right.
For the underwear.
That's right. And he was like, "No, I'm not wearing underwear."
I told a buddy of mine, I'm like, "Hey man, I gave Neil Bortz underwear."
Like, what'd you do? You did
like,
what?
Really? You did that to Talkmaster? I was like, he loved it.
Yeah. And nobody would have. The way he embraced that, the way he was like, this is great.
This is great, guys.
The way he did that, I was so shocked. And he carried the thing out, how it'll be captured in my mind for the rest of my life. He carried that thing out these two doors like he was carrying a football on the final run of the game. And it's either win or lose, and he was going to win. That's what it looked like when Neil Bortz carried his underbritches out of here. Those Pumas that front office Los gave him. But and he talked about in our call this morning, he talked about Donald Trump and just the fact that Donald Trump was able to do what no one else has been able to do. He was able to do it with no one pulling for him, seemingly. Everybody pulling against him, calling him the worst names in the book, people shooting at him. All of these things were going on and have gone on, and he was still able to pull this 20-point peace plan together, and we're on like step 5 or 6.
Step 6 at this point. Now that we've had the prisoner terrorist exchange and hostage exchange, we've now moved into, all right, the formation of the peace group that was in Egypt yesterday, and now we start getting into 7 and 8, which are the difficult ones. Hamas being demilitarized and leaving on their own accord.
Some big obstacles ahead of us.
Yeah.
But with accomplishing what we have now and what Donald Trump has accomplished now, this gives him the ability to go and try to move mountains if he wants to.
Yeah. He now has the ability, he has the political capital, in my opinion, to do nearly anything he wants to do. If he's able to secure, and this came down out of nowhere. Remember, he was having a meeting talking about Antifa last week when all this came down. And as you pointed out, Tug, hey, I got to go. We got to meet. It looks like we got a deal on the table. I got to go finish this thing off. And he just answered a couple questions and left. To then have this now in place. Man, if he gets Russia and Ukraine for them to stop their actions, all right, he's buttoned up then the major conflicts in this world.
That he inherited.
And now, in my opinion, he can go after healthcare. He can go after anything he wants to. He'll have the capital to do it. He'll have that reserve built up. And again, he's not seeking re-election. So he gets to go about it like, I ain't worried about it.
He's Yosemite Sam, man.
Just guns a-blazing.
And then think about the things in front of the Supreme Court that are already primed to go our way, like the birthright
citizenship is going to be an interesting play.
Yeah.
Because, again, for those of you who listen to this radio show, you've heard it when we did it as a story time, the intention by the writers of the law, you had a representative out of Ohio and one out of Michigan. They never intended for you to be able to come in this country, give birth, and have that be a citizen. In fact, they specifically wrote about that. It is in the Library of Congress that if a foreign diplomat happens to be here, stationed here, and his wife gives birth, that is not supposed to be an American citizen.
Makes sense to me. It's so common sense, and that's what Donald Trump goes after. That's those 80-20 issues that he goes after because they are common sense to most people. If you were to ask somebody, hey, in Japan, if you were to just go there on a vacation and you timed it up so you had your baby in Japan, do you think they'd let you be a citizen?
Probably not.
Of course they wouldn't.
We're the only country in the world that does this.
Only one. It goes back to common sense. You can't even do that in Mexico, dude.
It's because, and this is, in credit to Charlie Kirk, and, happy birthday, happy heavenly birthday to Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk brought up the unintended consequences of the civil rights movement. And people were like, well, that's racist. I can't believe it. He's like, no, the civil rights movement is largely what the transgender identity and what they're using in order to further their actions on society. That because you are recognized for being able to use the bathroom you want, they're saying the same thing and using the civil rights movement in legislation in order to do it. So that's what he was pointing out, that, hey, there's some unintended consequences here.
Well, that and the dismantling of the nuclear family, there's a lot of layers to that.
It's the same concept with what has gone on with birthright citizenship. It was written into law. It was voted on. It's an amendment so that people that were born here as slaves would have immediate citizenship. That was the entirety of what it was intended to be. Right. It wasn't intended for you to come across the border, fly in here, sit down, and suddenly pop out a kid, and that kid's an American citizen. It was never intended for that.
And then working backwards, because the kid is, then you can use your leverage to become an American citizen as well. Dude, it's as gross as anything else. It's using the system against itself almost to your benefit if you've come here illegally. And it happens. The crazy part is it happens nowhere else in the world because it's obviously not the way it was intended, and it has to change. I've been thinking about this for 15 years. Like, why do we allow this?
This is where Donald Trump's going to have the political capital to do whatever he wants to. That has to scare the left. That has to have them entirely thinking nothing's worked. He's wildly popular. He's now being celebrated around the world because, remember, before it was, well, the rest of the world looks at him as a joke. Do you see that joke on stage yesterday?
Didn't appear to be a joke.
Didn't appear to be much of a joke in that case. Didn't seem like there was some sort of laugh line there.
No. As a matter of fact, he made all the dignitaries wait on him so he could spend time with the freed hostages and families. He can do anything he wants, and there wasn't going to be a soul say a word about it.
It's a boss move, and he has over 3 years remaining.
Another thing, we brought this up yesterday. I wish we'd have brought it up with Neil when he was in, and that is the whole Jamie Dupree thing because he worked with him for so long.
Yes.
Should have brought that up. But regardless, to the point.
What happened to your friend?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, he's gone off the deep end. But that's where Donald Trump is. He was like, yeah, the government shut down. I'm going to take money from places that it's not going to be used or it's going to be wasted, and I'm going to use it in a productive manner. And you have people like Jamie Dupree and other Democrats that are like, no, you can't do that. Well, by God, I can. And I'm going to.
Do you see how small you now look in light of what happened yesterday? Because I get it. You think that you're arguing on behalf of the Constitution, and there's a part of me that absolutely says, no, you're absolutely right. But I also point out, I already saw Joe Biden thumb his nose at this in the interest of giving my money to people who took money out to go to school and didn't pay it back. And I'm looking to make sure my money is going over to servicemen and women.
And I have no problem with it because that money was most likely going to be wasted on some nonsense product anyway. And if you wanted Congress to act on it, then get them back in order. Open the government so there can be. And then you wouldn't even have to weigh the option of doing this because they would just get paid because the government's open. It's really simple. Either do the right thing or Trump's going to do the right thing. And in spite of you, in spite of all your complaining and just the fact that you hate him so much that you're not willing to say, yeah, it's good that he's taking money from other places and paying our military men and women.
I'm trying to remember where I read it, but there was one person who actually followed my advice, and it's good advice. Like if it was meat, it's prime rib, okay? Like it's like Wagyu. Like it is as good as it gets.
That's tasty there.
And I made the point. What you need to do is you need to take credit, the left does, for this peace deal. You're like, well, what do you mean? It's Donald Trump's peace deal. I'm like, use the media, take credit for it. I saw one person point out, well, he just built on what Joe Biden had already created.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
that was right in the vein, right?
But that's what I'm trying to say. I'm like, take advantage of the areas where there's wins. Because when you don't celebrate wins at all, it's like, okay, let's all acknowledge a win's a win, right?
Yes.
Okay, a win then comes down to who takes credit for it. By all means, if you on the left want to try and take credit for the win, do it. But the idea of not celebrating wins or not acknowledging wins or pretending wins or losses, it doesn't help you one bit.
It's going to be a little more difficult than it used to be to do that, though. You look at how Kamala Harris was ridiculed in her book for trying to take credit for no tax on tips. Dude, she was ridiculed all over the place. The problem is the media doesn't have the authority that they used to have.
Yeah,
they don't
not
have
anymore.
the pull. Somebody doing that, they're going to be excoriated on social media. They're going to be blown up on X. I'm not saying they shouldn't try it by any means, because what else do you got going on, Democrats? What else is going to...
What's the big W you're working on?
Nothing. You don't have one. So the worst that happens is you get beat up on social media and you still get out there and ring the bell.
I mean, is it going to be frustrating that they now have to change their clothes in terms of the protesters against Israel?
Yes.
It's like, oh, man. Now you got to go buy vagina hats.
Oh, no, I already have one.
Oh, okay.
Well,
are we going to go climate change next? Like, which one are we going to do?
No, nobody buys that one.
The cause heads.
Yes.
You ever remember the movie from the 90s, PCU, The Cause Heads? It's like, what is their cause that day?
That's right.
That's exactly how these people operate. And they've now lost, what are they going to come across as? More anti-Semitic?
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with all that. Here's the other problem they have is that everything that they want to do in the United States is completely falling apart in the countries that they love the most, like Venezuela and Cuba. This is the map that these fools want us to follow in the United States. Worthless currency, rolling blackouts. And this is not a conservative outlet that's sharing this story. It's thehill.com, as left as you can possibly be. They're like, oh no, the headline, Venezuela's collapsing and don't look now, but so is Cuba. And they talk about all the things that are going wrong in those countries. The electrical grid back on September 10th failed. 10 million people in darkness. It was the fourth time that it happened in less than a year. That's what they want in New York. And unfortunately, I believe that's what they're going to vote for and get in New York. This is the roadmap, Los, that they want us to follow. They want us to follow failure down the path.
Communism always has a thin candy shell. And what do I mean by that? There are elements that they're going to show you where you go, wow, that looks like a modern society. Like, that looks great. That looks like some sort of utopia. Right underneath it is where the crap is.
Mm-hmm.
Right underneath it is when you go, man, there's a lot of poor people. Man, everybody is struggling under this situation. And the problem is, the larger that it's tried out on, the larger of the country,
the scale,
the worse that it becomes.
Yeah.
And so some of these like island nations that go down this road, like Cuba, I mean, there's a reason why you had people by the thousands getting on boats and trying to get out of there.
Yeah.
Even on a small scale, it wasn't working.
Dude, the average salary less than $20 a month, according to thehill.com. Obviously far below the cost of living. Gas, you can't get it. People have resorted and changed back to bicycles and horse and carts. Tourism fallen more than in half over the last decade. And empty shelves and crime is on the rise.
It's regular.
Yeah. It's
just what it is. Now, it's going to be fascinating to see what New York's going to be this petri dish of what can you implement that will be socialist, communist in nature, and what will never get through the state legislature, so it's kind of a mix between the two. And let's face it, we already have an element of that in California. That's why California's bankrupt. That's why California's looking for handouts. Because you can't have these large-scale social programs and situations where, here, this is free, we'll have the taxpayers pay for it.
Chicago, same kind of deal. That they promised health care to anybody and everybody. And this is the thing that the Democrats don't want you to see, and yet it ends up in their news feed, in their media, thehill.com. This is what they want you to do. Resist. Do not. And when these clowns try it, let them fail. Don't come to the rescue. I don't want the federal government coming to the rescue of Chicago or California or New York. I want them to live in the decisions they've made, because there's a reason that Georgia lives with a surplus, Los. We're not in that situation, and we won't be. As New York continues to decline and as California continues to be a screw up, and so does Illinois, they're going to look down south and be like, man, those stupid hillbillies, they got us again.
Oh, those hillbillies.
Those dumb rednecks, those country bumpkins don't know what in the world they're doing. How are they not bankrupt and we are? Next on the Morning Extra, Chuck Schumer, he must have dozed off for the last 4 years. 9 o'clock hour is brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999. 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co for all your exterior home needs.
He made us think. He made us laugh. He made a difference. Happy heavenly birthday, Charlie Kirk. Gone but never forgotten. Extra 106.3.
Hey, it's Los. Let's talk about Skag. And where do you pick up your Skag power equipment? You do that at Howard Brothers. Fall, it's arrived. You've noticed. And with it, big jobs for your business. Leaf piles are growing. Debris is needing to be cleaned up. You'll need the equipment that can keep up with that work. And at Howard Brothers, they've got you covered with a full lineup of Skag street blowers, vacuums, and debris loaders. Some of those powerful tools in the industry. And with Skag, you'll tackle every job with ease and deliver the premium service that your customers expect. You demand simply the best, and that's exactly what Skag delivers all the time. Stop by your local Howard Brothers today and gear up for fall working with Skag and with Howard Brothers.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Fall is in the air, and Central Heating and Air Conditioning is making it the perfect time to upgrade your comfort. For a limited time, you get up to $2,100 in rebates and 60 months, 0% financing with approved credit. That's right, savings up front and no interest for 5 whole years. A brand new carrier system from Central delivers dependability, efficiency, and comfort every family deserves. Central Heating and Air Conditioning have set the standard in heating and cooling for over 3 generations. And now's your chance to bring that comfort home with the best savings of the season. These dual incentives don't come around often, so act now. Call 770-GET-HEAT today. That's 770-GET-HEAT. Or visit centralheat.com, centralheat.com. Upgrade your comfort, lock in your savings, and turn to your Atlanta carrier experts. Central Heating and Air Conditioning.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Hey, Atlanta Braves fans, this is Kelly Kroll asking you to step up to the plate for the men and women who have served our country and protected our freedom. The Warrior Alliance, an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, is helping thousands of veterans to achieve success after military service. Either you or someone you know has served and deserves our support. The best way to say thank you for your service is by helping a veteran round the bases on their journey home. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is Poll Paris with Fox News Director of Polling, Dana Blanton.
We ask a bunch of questions on our Fox News survey. Twice this year, we've asked about the performance of Democrats and Republicans in Congress. Both times, congressional Republicans received more positive marks than congressional Democrats. In March, approval of Republicans was higher by 13 percentage points. In September, they did better by 5. What makes the difference is counterintuitive. You might think bad ratings from lots of GOP voters are the reason Democratic lawmakers do worse. Instead, it's because a larger share of Republican voters approve of their party's representatives than Democratic voters do of theirs. Last month, self-identified Republicans were more likely to approve than disapprove of GOP lawmakers by a 53-point margin. Yet approval of Dem lawmakers among Democrats was net positive by a much smaller 17-point spread. I'm Dana Blanton, and that's your Poll Paris.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Tuesday, October 14th. Early voting begins today at 6 locations in Cobb County for mayoral candidates and city council seats. Voters have until October 31st to cast their vote if they want to do so before the election day in November 4th. 2 seats on the Georgia Public Service Commission in Districts 2 and 3 are also on the ticket. Cobb County commissioners have postponed a vote on the appointment of James Farrell as the new police chief. Farrell has been serving as interim chief since April when Stuart Van Hooser retired. The delay was requested by Chairwoman Lisa Cupid. She's seeking to address issues related to the search and selection process for a new chief. The commission will now vote on October 28th. And Atlanta's Fox Theater has been named Theater of the Year from the International Entertainment Buyers Association. Fox Theater President and CEO Alan Vela says the venue has welcomed over 600,000 guests in the past year and generated more than $50 million in ticket sales. The Fox brings back ghost tours of the historic building this month. Today's weather clear and sunny with highs in the lower 80s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999, 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co.
I walked out of this the studio and I was concerned. I told Jure, I was like, they might drug test me if I keep this up.
Oh, is it
because of what we were joking with each other about how I needed to go use the restroom.
Yeah.
And on the way out, I was like, I ain't go use the restroom. Gotta go pee-pee. And so I kept doing it walking out the door, and then I kind of looked around. I'm like, the sales team was like, what is he talking about? I was like, that was a joke for me and my friends over there.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
We're
Pay
good
no
here.
mind. Pay no mind.
We're totally fine over here. Everything's good.
Nothing to see. It took me a minute. I thought maybe just because you've been in and out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because your stomach's been a little uneasy.
If you're just now joining us, so this morning, my daughter had actually put together some pasta, and her version was the one with all the dairy. My version was not. But this morning at basically, 4:52, I think it said on the clock. I just grabbed the fork and stuck it in, and I was like, I'm just going to grab a couple pieces. And immediately I went, oh, that tastes like cheese.
That's
and I'm
the
like,
wrong one.
Oh, no.
And then there was an explosion early, and
yes.
It seems like we've been...
Early on in the show, I went, my stomach don't feel good. But I think we're past that, so we're good.
We're in there.
We're in the clear, I believe.
I like it. That's very important to be in the clear. And it's
don't
very
try
important.
And sneak any cheese on me.
Right. And sales department, we're not on drugs.
That's right. No drugs. We are drug-free.
That's right.
For now.
For now. Like, I don't even have caffeine.
Oh, no. How have you made it through today?
Well, let me tell you, it's been a struggle. I ain't gonna lie. It's been a struggle. I've not eaten, and it's a no caffeine.
Here I am, just with my big old can of Monster, just looking at you, being like, look how good this is.
Yummy. And the food part didn't go all that well for you, though. So I guess that's the flip side.
It's a trade-off.
Yeah, but I have a doctor's appointment, so you have to fast, and it's not till
How long
11.
have you been fasting?
Well, since last night after dinner.
So
6 o'clock last night.
The worst one I've ever had to deal with, and this was when I had the weird backup, like 3 or 4, it was like 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did is they told me, hey, we're going to do this surgery. It's going to take like 8 minutes. I'm like, okay. And all they were doing is they were cleaning up like this duct that was in, I don't know, somewhere in my stomach or wherever. And they told me, we're going to do it at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, okay, sounds good. Then it was, well, the doctor has this. It'll be 6 o'clock in the evening. I'm like, okay, fine. I was like, and I keep being told, as soon as we do it, then we're going to make sure you're fine. Then we're going to turn you loose. I'm like, okay. I was in the hospital for 3 days.
Good Lord.
Because they kept delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. And that was the last opportunity when I was like, the medical system is such BS.
Yeah, and has been broken intentionally.
Because they're sitting back like, well, we got to charge you for 3 hours. I was like, I'm supposed to be here for like 20 minutes.
This ain't on me.
Yeah.
This is on y'all.
And all they let me have was ice chips the entire time. So I was not allowed to actually have food.
Yeah.
For 3 days.
That's not good. That seems.
The surgery's going to be in a couple hours. I'm like, well, we can't eat.
Yeah. So how much weight did you lose in that 3 days?
I think it was like 8 or 9 pounds.
Yeah.
Something like that.
About right. Yeah.
I remember I got out of there and I was like, man, I got ripped abs. This is great.
I got to get back in there more often.
I was like, what a workout that was.
Exactly right. Yeah, that's the thing. So I'll be at 6 o'clock was 12 hours. I got to go to 11. So I got a few more to go.
Okay.
But
I won't tell you about what I'm going to do after this.
No, I heard you talking to the wife and family. I know.
There's going to be some hash browns in my future with some mushrooms.
It's the exact thing I was thinking.
Yeah.
Waffle House.
Waffle House for lunch today, Tug.
Gosh.
Yep.
Well, my appointment's at 11:30, so it'll be after that.
Can you imagine how good that's going to be?
Well, yeah, but I don't know why you're telling me about it now. It seems like you're trying to.
When Joyce brings you that plate of yumminess, and she's like, "Here you go,
you're
sweetie."
Trying to hurt my heart right now.
I'm just telling you. I want you to visualize.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to not like my stomach's been growling all morning. I could eat this freaking can.
Aren't you allowed to have like coffee?
I don't drink coffee, so I don't know. Maybe.
Well, but something along those lines,
Maybe.
like an energy drink, right?
I wasn't sure, so I didn't.
I just know that whenever you're fasting, you're typically allowed. And for those of you who fast, let us know. I have had like water, energy drink, or in this case, like I don't drink coffee either. But I know those are a couple things that you're supposed to be allowed to consume.
Okay, but I've only done water, so that's what I've stuck with. I've had 3 cans of water this morning.
God, could you imagine if you had like some city ham right on your face right now?
Buddy, that'd be awful.
Like if Jeray came in and slapped you in the face with city ham?
I would just be like, sorry, I can't make my appointment. I'm not kidding, man.
Okay, so how are they going to know? Are they doing blood work?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's why you have to fast. Yeah. But otherwise, it wouldn't matter to me at all.
They'd be like, you need to starve yourself for the. Okay, says you.
Yeah, thank you. No, thank you.
I mean, if your blood work came back and they're like, Mr. Cowart, we are noticing that your blood seems to be high in ham. You'd be like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Damn right.
and if there's the day that it's not, something's wrong.
There's a meat product in your bloodstream. Yes, there is.
And there's not a day without it. So anyway, that's what I've been dealing with this morning. Poor Chuck.
You want a Zen?
Oh yeah, you can do that.
I'd probably have a Zen.
No,
you can have a Zen.
I'm clear now. I don't want.
Look at him. Look, he's trying to be. Oh, he's Snow White now.
Yes,
he's so clean.
Yes, I'm trying to do it the right way. I'm trying to do the right thing here.
Well, you only have to deal with us for about 30 more minutes.
Well, but could you imagine
time,
dude? Can you imagine with nothing on my stomach? I mean, when I'm full and throw in a Zen like on a weeknight,
he's spinning in that seat over there.
Dude, I would be Tasmanian devil out the top of the building.
He spins out of the earth.
I wouldn't be able to drive to the doctor's appointment. I'd be so, I wouldn't be. I just know me well enough. Those things hit me hard.
Give him one.
No, I'm not. No.
Okay.
I'm all set.
Well, first off, Jeray has like the hardcore stuff.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
what's
that's
the
like
milligrams?
9 milligrams.
It's a 6 milligram.
6.
Okay.
Is that the biggest?
Pop 2 of them in there.
Oh, dude. Like, I have the smallest milligram.
I've had the 2 milligram one. I'm like, we're good.
I still spin on that.
Like, I'm good at 2.
Yeah.
We did a veterans event up in Woodstock at Reformation about a year and a half ago, and a guy had just gotten back from Germany. He's like, oh, you're doing Zins. Let me show you this thing. And he pulled out a can, and he's got these 21 milligram things.
Good Lord.
He's like, you want to sit down for that one.
You want to sit down. Sir, you'll need to sit down. This thing is not going to go well. You will be on your face shortly, digging holes and finding something to do.
I love it.
Just anything to exert the energy that it's giving you.
Can confirm.
Yeah, right. I'm telling him. Did you try one?
21? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Try anything once.
All right. Good enough.
Maybe even twice.
Yeah. It depends on how
3 times. See if I like it.
How well you like it. I got it. Yeah. The 2 milligrams give me like the biggest head rush in the world. So, I can't imagine what
our friend Stephanie says that you don't really have to fast it. It makes no difference.
Paging what? Dr. Stephanie.
So, yeah, exactly. So, you need to have yourself a plate full of hash browns before you go there.
Just power through. You got 2 more hours.
Yeah, I'm not.
You got
this.
I believe in you, Tug.
That's definitely what I'm going to do, but I love the fact that Stephanie is all about breaking the rules. Because
you should be like Domino. Did you see what he posted last night?
Oh, my Lord. Is that a peanut butter sandwich?
A can of Corona and a peanut butter and jelly, which, again, he eats like... This is our friend whenever we have any of our Braves talk when the Braves are in the playoffs. Baseball Jesus, Chris Domino, comes down the hall to hang out with us, and he eats like a 6-year-old.
Yes, and he's the coolest guy you'll ever meet in your whole life.
He got electrocuted when he was 6 years old, and his taste buds froze in time. And so he's having, and he posted a Corona and a peanut butter and jelly, which sounds like it'd be pretty good for you right now.
For sure it would be. And a beautiful home. I've never been to his home, but that looks amazing.
A friend of ours, only Domino and sociopaths don't cut their sandwiches in half. This is very concerning.
I don't cut my sandwich in half either. Do you?
No.
Yeah, what's this guy talking
Sandwich
about?
doesn't last long enough.
Yeah,
that thing's gone, especially a peanut butter.
Oh, dude.
Thing's gone in 5 bites.
Just absolute chainsaw that thing.
I have a real problem with that. I eat way too fast.
Me too. I wish I could slow down a little
This
bit.
is the part where I would say, this is why you've been divorced twice. To our friend who made that comment.
Oh, right. Oh.
Because I would say a sociopath would then cut their sandwich in half.
like a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. Yeah, I don't know anybody that cuts their
Does that seem wrong?
You know what?
That's why you had two people who decided they can't be with you.
That's right. And it's funny because my wife, now when she makes like grilled cheese or something, she always cuts it in half. Like that's her nurturing way. But I'm a dude, man. It wouldn't have mattered if you had how you handed it. I'm just going to inhale it anyway.
Yeah.
And so yes, that person is way wrong about Domino. He's definitely not a sociopath. I
wonder if they cut it crossways twice. Tiny little baby triangles.
Little triangles, yes. Now, Mama might do that, but I don't know anybody else. Chuck Schumer is a guy that is just out of touch with everything. He's worried about his gig. And I guess if you've been in government that long, like losing, it's like a player that comes to the end of their career and they're like, what am I going to do? And I don't know what else to do. Chipper Jones handled it very well. Most people, I think, in pro sports and probably politics do not. And he must have been asleep during this whole politicization of the DOJ under the Biden administration. He's like the legal analyst that Los brought up yesterday. That just, what? There's been some sort of political prosecution that I must have missed it.
What happened?
Yeah, exactly.
This is the worst thing I've heard of since Watergate.
Fill me in, please. And then Chuck Schumer, as Donald Trump's working to secure peace, this dude's calling for violence, and he summarizes it all the same way. You know, Donald Trump's the worst, and he's a guy that goes after his political opponents.
It is just such a hallmark of tyrannical, autocratic dictatorship societies that they use the prosecutorial department as a political weapon. It is a disgrace, and every American, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, moderate, people should be forcefully rising up against this.
Forcefully rising up against this. Does he not? He has to know. There's not a chance he doesn't know that his language triggers crazy people to do crazy things, and we've seen it for years now.
Well, it's a goal.
Well,
the goal has always been, when you lack power, use violence. That's the nature of what the socialist movement has always been. If you're out of power, guerrilla warfare. This is just their version of it.
It's just, at some point, you would think they've been called on it so many times that they would at least try to pretend. I'm not saying change who they are. You know, a leopard doesn't change its spots. But at the same time, you would think they would try to disguise it a little bit. He's not even to try to disguise it. People need to rise up. They need to rise up. Start riots? Is that what you're asking them to do? Forcefully rising up? Is that what you're...
Forcefully rising up.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Everything is always carefully worded, but basically comes down to violence. Everything is always... You know, we need to meet this. What was it that was pointed out? Whether it was AOC? No, it was Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was the one who was like, "It's time to fight fire with fire."
Oh yes, yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, yeah, because I've not seen anybody on our side using fire.
Because there's a gray area in here, and it's just enough where it's, are you inciting violence?
Because it sure sounds like.
Now, again, we have a First Amendment, but we also have laws and rules depending on the platform, depending on the situation, in which case, if you're threatening people, it sure does sound like threatening language, like as in, I'm going to try and hurt you.
Well, that's certainly what it sounded like to me with Chuck Schumer, and I wish they would at least disguise it. You know, try to hide it a little bit. No, they're not going to. They're going to say, go attack people you don't agree with. That's what they do. And there's nothing going to change that. As people are being released from being held in captivity for 2 years, you got Chuck Schumer the same day going, go after these people that we don't agree with. And the crazy thing is, his side agrees with Hamas. So who was he cheering for yesterday? Was he cheering for those hostages to be released? I don't know the answer that I know of. I couldn't tell you where his head is. I know what his words say. I'm very familiar with that. No way to mistake that part. Morning Extra at Extra 106.3, Tug and Los until 10. Chuck Norris turned red. What got him? Made him turn all red like that? I'll tell you next on Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, October 14th. The Atlanta Falcons are now 3-2 on the season after beating the Buffalo Bills at home 24-14 the final. Quarterback Michael Penix Jr. threw for 250 yards. Running back Bijan Robinson runs for 170 on the ground. The Chicago Bears, they beat the Washington Commanders 25-24 after a last-second field goal. For Major League Baseball, the Mariners are headed back to Seattle up 2-0 after a 10-3 victory over the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Los Angeles Dodgers are up 1-0 after beating the Milwaukee Brewers last night in LA 2-1 the final. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Don't just ride apart from the crowd, travel above it. The spacious, sumptuous 7-seat GLS SUV wraps thoughtful innovations in ruggedly elegant style and refined luxury. It's chiseled and muscular, yet polished and agile, from its bold grille to its LED tail lamps. Get an exceptional offer on the 2025 Mercedes-Benz GLS 450 4MATIC SUV. Just $929 per month for 36 months with $87.33 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the RBM of Atlanta's fall sales event, now through October 31st. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through October 31st, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
Big moments deserve big-time craftsmanship. At Solomon Brothers Jewelers, we've been family-owned and operated since 1982 because we know what it means to show up when it counts. Jaron Solomon here, and that's why we're proud to be an official Tacori jeweler. Each Tacori ring is handcrafted in California, going through 20 elite artisans before it hits your hands. Not mass-produced, not generic, always personal. And with Solomon Brothers, you get lifetime cleanings, unbeatable financing, and the largest Tacori selection in Georgia. Stop by a store in Buckhead, Alpharetta, or Sharpsburg. Visit SolomonBrothers.com to book your private appointment. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, where love is in the details and legends are built to last. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs and official jeweler of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
Oh no, what is that sound?
It's our rejection detection system. It's showing that several men across Georgia are being denied intimacy by their partners due to ED.
How can this be?
Well, it's more common than you think. As men age, their bodies change. And unfortunately, once they get over 50, some things don't work like they used to.
So what do we do?
There's only one thing to do. We need to get them to Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. He can fix ED problems.
But how?
At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, they are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, and Trimex to create an erection and more.
Hi, this is Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 struggle with some form of ED? Guys, it won't get better on its own. When it's not hard, it's really hard. But I can help you today. Call us at Total Body Therapy of Georgia at 404-777-1911 or learn more about us online at tbtofga.com.
Field service engineer positions offered by Electa Inc. in Atlanta, Georgia. Independently perform routine troubleshooting and repairs on the designated modality with an 80% success rate of diagnosing the problem while working within the escalation procedure. Must be willing to travel domestically 50%. Employee reports to Atlanta, Georgia, but may telecommute from any location in the U.S. Please submit resume to faith.gordon@electa.com. Reference job ID 9114595.
It's October 14th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is Dessert Day, one of my favorite days on the calendar. Celebrate by selecting your favorite delicacies and indulging in them while exploring the ever-growing number of options we have to experience in the world of sweets. On this day in 1964, civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for nonviolent resistance to racial prejudice in America. At 35, he was the youngest person ever to receive the honor. U.S. Air Force Captain Chuck Yeager becomes the first person to fly faster than the speed of sound in 1947. Born on this day in 1978, singer, songwriter, businessman, and dancer, Usher. Dying on this day in 2009, famous pro wrestler Captain Lou Albano, who suffered a heart attack. I'm CJ Papa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
Today, we reflect on the life of Charlie Kirk on what would have been his 32nd birthday. Gone far too young, Charlie represented an unabashed pride in the American way of life, unafraid to speak out, and contributed so much to the conservative movement. His legacy lives on in the voices of conservatives across the nation and right here in Atlanta, on your only home for conservative news and talk. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Tug and Los until 10. So grateful that you're here and hoping that you'll share the show with someone else. Little community grassroots growing of this radio station. We would be forever grateful if you'd share it with just one person.
And I know it's contrarian because oftentimes when you discover that one particular band, you share it with your friends, but you don't want them to buy the shirt.
That's right.
You don't want them to become a bigger fan. I'd like for you to just give it a try. So for those of you, like when we met over at Kelvin King's launch party for his campaign, we met a lot of you out there. Some of you were already listeners, which is really cool. I'm just saying, if you happen to share us with a friend of yours and they become a bigger fan, no hate.
Yes, it's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We still love you first.
That's
and
right.
foremost.
And mean it.
Because you were first.
We love you, miss you, mean it.
You are in the fanny pack crowd.
That's right.
4-hour fanny pack.
Yeah.
Once again, we brought it up with management, and they just kind of looked at us like, why do y'all want fanny packs? Like, well, why not?
Because why not? Like, what else would you get? Well, it's a coffee mug. You're a morning show. I don't care. I don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
Those doesn't drink coffee.
What do I want a coffee mug for?
My wife has a cabinet full of coffee
mugs. We have too many coffee mugs
That's right.
in the house.
We need to pare down.
If I started breaking them, like one a day, my wife wouldn't notice for about the first 3 weeks.
That's exactly right. Same here. So, yeah, we don't want coffee mugs. We want fanny packs. Those are back in style. Those things are hip again. Don't you know?
I mean, if Jure would wear it, then you know it's hip.
That's rocking it like a hurricane. That's what
Put
that
it
is.
on like a satchel.
Yes.
That's right.
Who doesn't love a good satchel?
I mean, the man has only made one mistake in the last year. That was a shaving thing, but I'm glad.
Yes, but he's never going to do that again.
Yeah, never going to do that again.
Yeah. Shook
That was
his
weird.
guys up.
That was bad. That was a bad idea.
That was, yeah.
It was just a miss. It was like, all right, I'm in a hurry, and then all of a sudden, oh no.
And then you had to.
Because I did stop at just a mustache, and I figured that was not the move.
I swear to you, it was like 6:04 that morning, and I glanced up and was like, whoa. I was like, hold on a second.
Well, who's that?
I was like,
and what'd you do with Jerry?
I'm used to working with the brawny man.
That's right.
You know, like the dude who looks like he's ready to lumberjack stuff with his hands.
Yes.
Like
Perfect.
Jure looks like, you need me to trim this tree? I'll use my fists.
That's right.
And then suddenly he like took his power away. He was like Samson.
That's exactly right. You
I didn't know what happened.
That's awful to have happened to you.
Delilah sabotaged by razor.
That's right.
That's right. Well, we're glad that's never going to happen again.
Hold down these pillars.
So if the brawny man will wear a fanny pack, a satchel, then you know it's cool for everybody.
Of course. And the brawny man has a lot in common, I would think, with a person like Chuck Norris, maybe, right? Because they're both super strong American figures. People know them immediately when they see them. I mean, look at that. That's Jure.
It's no lie, man.
Oh, that's a handsome fella.
That's the brawny man.
It's flannel season 2.
Yeah, it is.
And you thought I was kidding?
No,
Get out and
not
chop
at
some
all.
wood.
That's right. And if you don't,
It came up and you're like, oh my God, that's Jure.
oh my gosh, it looks because that's the updated version. The other dude was like blonde haired, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. They've given him a little
Too Aryan.
Yeah.
We got to rebrand this guy.
That's right.
Look at him. He's got some towels.
Dude, look at him. He's probably going to crush that towel, too, with those large hands, thick fingers. Goodness.
So that's the cartoon version of Chuck Norris, because Chuck Norris has the same look, you know?
That's right.
He's got the beard. And how many times have we ever seen Chuck Norris without facial hair? Because when it happens, it's weird.
I don't
like he's a
recall
bearded
it.
guy all the time.
He was
right?
born with that beard.
Yeah.
My favorite Chuck Norris joke is that he doesn't have a chin behind his beard. There's just a third fist.
There you go. It's another fist.
Dude, those jokes were the greatest.
It was like, I love
early internet.
Chuck Norris doesn't sleep. He waits.
Yes.
Like, that's funny.
That's so great.
And now that he's got to be in his late 70s, right?
Yeah.
Are we talking now into his 70s?
I
Because
think so.
these are all jokes when he was in his 50s, and he was on late night television with Christy Brinkley, working out.
Yes, that's right. He's 85.
Man, he looks good for 85.
He looks incredible for 85.
He looks good for 85. So this is Chuck Norris. He was asked about his political affiliation. And I think that Chuck Norris is speaking for a lot of Americans who find themselves like Elon Musk, like Donald Trump, like Tulsi Gabbard, like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on the outside looking in.
Why are you a conservative, sir? Well, I used to be a Democrat, but unfortunately the Democrats went too far to the left, and the Republicans moved into their position that the Democrats were 40 years ago. See, and so what the Democrats believed 40 years ago, the Republicans believe today. And so I realized that I had to go to a Republican because the Democrats just got too far off the trail. They just got completely off the trail and lost all reality of what America stood for. And so I realized that Republicans at this point in time are more focused on what is best for America than what the Democrats are.
And then he rode off.
Chuck Norris would never be off the trail, ever.
I think it's pretty succinct.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's straight up.
I've been a Democrat.
Yeah.
They just went so far in a direction where I can't follow you.
Chuck Norris without facial hair is awful. It's very. I'm about to derail us, but it's terrible.
It's throwing you off,
buddy. It's awful. It's like as bad as Jure without.
What do you think I did when I saw Jure? I was like, whoa.
Yeah, like Kramer.
What is that all about?
What is this? What is this that's happened?
Jure is a security blanket.
That's
as
right.
long as he has facial hair, I feel comfortable.
That's right. And the minute he
I know all is right in the world.
But there's so many people, Los, to this point that have gone and you named Elon Musk and there's so many. Look, RFK, his wife. I mean, in a million years, I would have never ever because she's Hollywood big time. Cheryl Hines. I mean, she was a Curb Your Enthusiasm. She was, she did all those things.
Cheryl Hines is cool.
Dude, she's so cool.
She's hilarious.
Would you have ever pictured her in a million years standing next to Donald Trump?
No.
Of course not. Me either.
But here's where we're at. And here's where you have so many people, and I get it. They cannot announce their affiliation.
They're afraid to.
But I think one of the...
It's becoming less and less, though.
Yes, I think that's one of the biggest changes we've seen. It used to be that the reason why it was so hard to poll Trump voters is because most people just didn't tell you they voted for Trump. There was this stigma attached to it. You can't say you voted for Donald Trump. All right, I've done it 3 times.
Same here.
All right, like I freely admit this is what I've done. It's different when then people are willing to wear the hat, wear the gear, wear all the stuff. And yesterday even added to that.
Yeah, it did.
So people like Chuck Norris are like, nope, that other group does not represent me one bit. This is the direction I went.
I don't know if you've noticed the things that have happened under Donald Trump that didn't happen under anybody else in maybe the history of time.
And quite honestly, Donald Trump took the Republican Party and moved it more to the center.
He's a centrist.
He's a centrist.
He's not a super conservative.
No. J.D. Vance is far more conservative.
And that's why they don't know what they are in for when he wins.
They're complaining about, we can just get rid of Donald Trump. Wait till you have a real conservative in there.
I'm telling you, man.
Donald Trump is a guy who brought LGBTQ to the platform when it came to the Republican Party. He was somebody, remember how you would always hear about the evangelical Christians? You have to win with the evangelical Christians. Donald Trump made it much more of a centrist party in terms of, hey, if you're religious, cool. If you're a little religious, cool. If you're not, you still got a home here too.
Yeah, it's fine.
That was different. That was so different than the early 2000s.
Had never happened.
Had never happened like that.
And I'm an evangelical Christian, so I recognize it. But that's the thing. Everything that he speaks from is very common sense, so it doesn't go away from anything that your conservative values tell you. Nothing.
spending.
No, yes, okay.
That's the only area where I'm like,
Yes.
okay.
But maybe I should say culturally.
Culturally, I'd agree with
Spending
right there with you.
100% is correct.
I'm
Good
just
call.
as I'm sitting back going like, I'm going to have to point out the spending.
No, you have to. No, and I'm glad you did.
He's making me do it, isn't he?
No, yes, but you have to.
But the tent's bigger.
It's just right.
And then when you start stacking wins on top of it, like what went on yesterday with a peace deal in the Middle East, it's cool. It's popular to be conservative.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is for sure.
Like we are the cool kids in the room. I don't know when this happened. It happened.
Never happened in my life.
Never happened in my life.
I've never had that title.
It's too much winning.
It is.
No, it's not. No. I'll push back on that.
I mean, I'm supposed to be the Keatons. Like, I'm like, well, he's the Republican.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know?
Stand over there. Stand over there, young man. That'll do it for us here on Extra 106.3. Appreciate you being here. Please share the Extra app with a friend or two.
I hope you get the biggest plate of hash browns after your point.
Son, I'm going to tear some
doing that
food. I know, this guy. He's like, I'm doing it right now. I mean, the instant the mic goes off, he's like the Roadrunner just out the door. That'll do it, like I said, for us. We appreciate you being here for Los and Jeray. Stick around for Beck, and y'all come back now, you hear?
Today, we remember the voice and legacy of Charlie Kirk on his birthday. We celebrate the man who left his mark on all of us. Rest easy, Charlie. Extra 106.3.